Never left.
Fuck the big three. It's just big me.
Damn.
You guys listen to it?
Took they whole shits. Yeah, listen to it.
What'd you think?
It's pretty
It
yeah,
wasn't my
yeah.
favorite, but I'm glad that he is calling them out directly.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing for Kendrick to be doing after his last album, so
Mhm.
he's still in it.
Cool. I think we're live. Yeah. I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Hey, let's do it.
I don't hear anything.
Wait, I don't hear anything.
Me neither.
Are you doing it through the sync tube?
No,
I'm
I'm
not
doing
even
it
on the sync tube.
through. I'm casting my audio.
Hmm. Oh, no, that's not it. I don't hear shit.
You.
Um, through Ambient Village? Is that where we're supposed to be hearing it from?
No,
No.
not sync tube.
Oh.
It should just be coming from
Zoom?
Zoom
No, I'm not hearing it.
audio. Do you guys have maybe the shared audio turned off?
Let's see. Where would I see that?
No.
I usually share, so I don't know.
Let me see.
So on the top of my screen it says you're viewing Tybalt's screen, and then there's a button next to it that says view options.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a little drop down. If you click that, there's an
Mine-
option that says mute Tybalt's
Yeah.
computer sound. Mine is unchecked, so I should
Mine's
have
on-
audio playing.
Mine's unchecked too, but
Mine's unchecked, but I don't hear anything.
I just checked it and unchecked it to see.
Yeah, I did the same. Checked and unchecked.
Let me see. It could be because I'm sharing. App. Well, that. Oh, hold on. What about now?
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Okay.
But I think everybody has to be quiet, otherwise
Yeah,
it's
we all gotta
gonna
shut the
mute it.
fuck up.
In the shadowed realm of the Thundercliffs, a band of adventurers known as the 9-9 faced the daunting challenge of the Drow. Their battle was fierce, yet through skill and determination, they emerged victorious. However, the aftermath brought a twist to their tale. The individual they had believed to be their bard, caught in the throes of an abduction, was revealed to be Sovendal, not the bard they had thought. This revelation brought a somber note to their victory. Sovendal was suffering from a dire coughing affliction, one that mirrored the dreadful disease plaguing Jane's village. Gadriel, sensing an opportunity to assert her capabilities, stepped forward. With determination, she attempted a lesser restoration, hoping to cure Sovendal's ailment. Yet, despite her efforts, the spell failed to take hold. The disease's resilience against magic_id, the gravity of their situation, hinting at a deeper, more malevolent force at work. As the 9-9 took a moment to rest and regroup, Garn and Vox kept vigilant watch. During this brief respite, Jinx's curiosity led him to a mysterious box.
Ah,
The allure of the unknown proved too tempting, and upon opening it, the box unleashed a violent burst of lightning, leaving Jinx enveloped in a green tint. The departure of Ferali from their ranks had unforeseen consequences, particularly for Gadriel. Her thirst for power became more pronounced, filling the void left by Ferali with ambition and a newfound drive for dominance. In a pivotal turn, the 9-9 utilized a magical artifact known as the Hearthstone. This powerful tool allowed them to teleport back to Leylon, marking both an end and a beginning. Their return to Leylon was not just a physical journey, but a symbolic one, signaling a moment of reflection and potential recalibration of their mission. Through battles fought and challenges faced, the Nine Nines' journey is a testament to the complexity of their world, a world where victory can be shadowed by mystery, and where the line between friend and foe can blur in unexpected ways.
I need this bot to do my school discussion posts, man.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I
it's so
know.
hard to hit 250 words, you know?
Yo, that shit went hard, Edgar. Good job.
I feel like
That's-
we're missing
that's-
notes, or I didn't
You
note
got some
it.
of it wrong. You didn't note some of it. I added to some of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but also
the-
we
the healing
found
one,
out
right?
that we also found out that she was most likely heading back to a location north on the coast, right? I forgot the name of the area.
Yeah, yeah. She was going to the tower. Was it a different tower?
Some kind of tower or something that was like a little like northwest of Leylon, I think, but like near the coast.
Hmm.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like
The
that.
storm tower.
Yeah.
Close enough. She was going somewhere.
give me a history check.
Who?
Anybody?
I'll do it.
Anybody.
I got it.
I also got it.
All right, Andre, lock in.
He said anybody.
I don't got it.
I don't
17.
got it. I don't got it.
18.
Nice.
Cool. You guys, Vox, you remember that she has been said to have departed to the Tower of Storms, which is a lighthouse along the coast, Sword Coast, a little bit west of Phandalin, not Leylon.
Okay.
North of where you are now, but yeah, along the coast.
Tower of Storms, right?
Tower of Storms.
Okay. Picture on 3. Okay. Yeah. 1.
What?
Picture on 3. No.
Do I gotta make a stupid face?
I mean, that's your choice.
I'm already
I mean, you
holding
do a
my
pretty good
pose.
job of
Let's
that every
go.
day.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make a stupid face. Okay. 1,
Well,
2. Thanks. Hey.
Yeah, look
I
at
can taste face.
Papias looks like he's fucking blowing clouds over there.
He looks all faded.
Faded.
I was
Looking
just about
like
to say that.
looking like Diego right now. Looking like my cousin Diego.
God. Okay, I'll post it. Thank you.
Hey, how far are you guys in Attack on Titan?
Finished it.
Finished it.
Damn.
I cried.
Are you a Jaegerist or a non-Jaegerist?
Hey, don't start this right now. We're barely getting into D&D.
Seriously, we're barely getting to D&D. It took me
Cool.
like 3 days to process it. Anyways, go on. Sorry.
Cool. Dude, I've been asking you about that for like 3 years now.
It wasn't that long.
It's for a while. Anyway, yeah, so you guys remember that Vox and Ebroth, you guys both remember at least that she's headed to the Tower of Storms. But to much to your guys' relief, you guys are home. It is late in the evening. You guys are welcome to now take the benefits of a long rest.
sweet. Are we in our?
Sick.
Where are we?
This is your headquarters, yes.
Okay, I thought so. Long rest.
Yeah,
Oh,
and as you guys move about, you'll
Fucking long
notice that
rest.
things look like they have been kept up while you guys have been gone. You hear well, yeah, I guess nobody's there yet, but it looks like, as you guys are out and about, somebody is in and just kind of like keeping up your
Like dusting the shelves and shit.
homestead. Yeah, just keeping things tidy for you, keeping all of your like local things in order. All your bills are on the table in a neat stack, and your groceries are stocked, things like that.
Hell yeah.
Um, you guys, I mean, have the opportunity to uh take some time before your long rest if you'd like, and discuss whatever you guys want to discuss, or explore whatever you guys want to explore. I would say that it's late in the evening. If you guys do want to explore anything, I would say it would be before a long rest.
As soon as we teleport, I'm like, fuck, we forgot to use the special glasses on Selvendal.
What special
Oh well.
glasses? Jinx says.
Yeah, this Jinx says.
We found a pair of special glasses when we found the original letter from Sylvandal. And logically, we should have used them when we found him, and especially after we killed him. Oh well. I don't think there's much reason to return back there.
Did we get anything from him? Like we didn't stash him, did we?
He no, he had a cache next to him of treasure or supplies, I guess. We got a couple of potions. Um and some we got a jade brooch
Worth 500 gold.
worth 500 gold exactly. Um yeah, there wasn't much there, but I think there may have been more if we would have actually paid attention and used the glasses. But such is life. It I don't think it's worth returning for a couple of hags and the possibility of something else.
I just want to say there was no like.
There's no
You guys have
indication
no
that we would have.
confirmation that they were hags.
Also, we had no indication that to use the glasses. We've only ever used them one time with those maps.
Yeah, but the letter that he was trying to send, I think that's when we found the glasses. Like they were part of it and they revealed a lot. So
I mean,
again,
they
I don't
revealed
think
the markers on the maps. I'm just saying, I understand you feel a certain way that we didn't use them, but there wasn't a whole lot of indication without anybody doing any checks at the
I
time.
agree.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I think to Dave's point, the glasses came from Salvindal, so it
Right.
would stand to
I'm just
reason that
saying-
he would have
Sure.
things that would go along with that.
at Breath, even if we wanted to go back, I don't know that that's going to happen.
No,
I
yeah.
attacked the captain of the ship that got us there, and I don't know how that's going to go over.
Yeah, I mean, unless we can teleport back there, it's fine. We should just focus on the here and now, get
I
what
agree.
information we can.
I agree.
I will say that amongst some of your personal items that are left here at the estate, there is a letter that is addressed to Tybalt that is left out on the I don't know, a little fucking shelf thing. I'm not good with
The
words right now.
mantle.
Yeah, like a mantle. There would also be one for Jinx as well.
Ooh. That's how Jinx goes. Secretly reads it.
Rubbing the paws.
I'll grab mine and read it out loud.
Out loud, okay. You have a letter from Marigold Brightshine, who is the local cleric here in Leylon and the head of the Church of Lathander. They are inviting you to have a conversation regarding the church and ways that you could be of service to them.
As soon as they read ahead and see that it's not for public knowledge, my voice will lower and I'll just say, it looks like I have to go to the Church of Lathander in the morning, so I will turn in now. It's been a day.
Well, right before Tybalt you leave, I'll just say, hey, do you want some company, or is that a solo thing?
Will most likely a solo thing. Don't want to bore you all with the details. I'll let you know once I know more specifics of what they want.
All right, sounds good. Then I'll probably head to the smithy then in the morning, see if I can't help that young lady with her work, and I'll head to my room.
Okay. Jinx, gone. Palpius, what are you guys up to?
So Gon at the moment is kind of just recollecting himself, thinking on the journey, and also um kind of just writing into his notebook that he pulled out not too long after the group got there. And yeah, he just starts to think, we should probably keep record of things. Probably serves our memory better to write things down. Okay. And just kind of like to himself, but he's muttering stuff, and if you're close enough, you can kind of hear it. But yeah, Gon starts to write. He's like, all right, Tybalt got a letter. So did Jinx. Tybalt reads it,
I
finds a
imagine that if
mistake
you
up
like
to the
look through the
church.
I imagine that if you look through the notebook, it's just like drawings of like skies and birds and flowers and trees.
And the next one's
Cool
like a
little S
little.
thing.
The next one's a little action figure version of
Yeah.
Tybalt holding a letter, and she's just really excited about this letter.
It's like I just imagine it being like a chibi recap of your like recent adventure.
Aw, cute.
It's great.
Cool. And then Jinx, how about you? What are you up to?
So I got my letter and I was really excited to read it, and I like read it really close to my face, like okay, sure, 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 sure. And I'm just kind of mumbling the words, but like reading it to myself. Okay, sure, 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 Roberts. Okay, okay, yeah, this. Okay. And then she just kind of closes the letter and puts it in a pocket. Um, Nothing really important to the matters to the rest of the group. Therefore, I just nonchalantly put in my bag as something not too important, but like kind of like happy about the letter.
Okay, so Jinx read her letter to herself, didn't share. Um,
I
and
like this like
seems in
therapist
a
John who just like
joyful
notates everything.
mood. Okay.
Reacts negatively to praise. Okay.
Lightning,
It's like,
negative.
tell
Okay.
me, how's your relationship with your father? And Palpius, you get back, you are beat, you're tired, you've got some bruises. What's going through your head?
Probably getting some rest. Maybe join Ebrath and go see the smith in the morning.
Okay. Well, I mean, in that case, you guys are more than welcome to take your long rest and um
As I'm hunkering down, I'll use my mold earth and gather up all the little bits of dirt to as much as I can. It seems pretty clean in here, but I still want to round up whatever I can, make a nice little pile in the corner, and just unleash the swarm. Like all these bugs come out, just including Hobby the fat worm. And I'll just
I
fall
fucking
asleep
hate
as
Javi.
they're just like and just fall asleep with them like crawling all over me.
Remember when the scariest bad guy in the series got killed by a worm?
MVP.
And what?
MVP.
He got killed
Oh,
by a
That worm can
worm.
ball. That worm can ball.
Truthfully, he was on like 2 HP and just trying to run for his life, and
oh,
Javi cut him off and got him.
Straight
that
up, dude.
tracks.
Did not let his ass go.
I was like, can't wait to get out of here. They're gonna be so pissed.
God damn, bro.
And then Dave was like, don't I get a fucking opportunity attack? And I was like, what are the chances? All right, fuck it. That's exactly
Nailed
what
it.
happened with that other one too. I said, what are the chances? Fuck it.
Oh, with my nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Jinx's nemesis too. It was supposed to be like this co-nemesis thing that was supposed to bring you guys together. And then you guys just killed him like instantly.
I still
He was supposed
remember
to be a
you so
recurring
pissed.
character. He was supposed to be a
You're so
recurring
pissed about
character.
it. The whole
Supposed
time
to be
you're
a
just like,
recurring
fuck,
character?
I guess.
Yeah. He was supposed to be. And then they webbed
Yeah,
him
the
and then
null.
tied him up and then fucking
Tortured him.
chained him and then tortured him.
Yep.
That was cool.
It was cool.
So as the sun rises, you guys wake up feeling refreshed. What's everybody doing?
Um, so Gon will wake up and just kind of think to himself, and I don't know about you, Jinx, but I'm feeling a little telelagged. Feels like I'm in a different time zone or something. I don't know. I'm in a different zone with differing times or something like that, you know? Coffee. Coffee's a good idea. Do they have coffee here? Anyways, and I'll get out of bed and I guess go downstairs to the inn just to see what I can scrounge.
So you guys are actually in your like headquarters. So you guys have your full kitchen, your
Yeah.
full
Nice.
living room and dining room. Um, there is no staff, so it's just you guys, but no inn. To my point,
Oh, so what? So this is HQ, HQ,
This
not.
this is
is
your
HQ,
guys'
yeah, yeah. This
house.
is
Okay.
our
Like, this is where
house.
you guys live.
I must
Our
protect this house.
Who's the one that doesn't do dishes? I feel like it's Palpius.
He doesn't
He's the
have
room.
dishes,
He's the
bro.
roommate that never does
He eats
dishes.
he eats all fucking tree bark and shit.
Just like
The heck
And
you talking
rocks.
about, bro? Oh, you know, probably be cooking up some steak and egg in the morning.
Bro, Edgar,
Ooh.
I started seeing that description when it was posted. So you have to post the full description you used. Look at Hobby, bro. That fool killed Ascendus, bro.
Oh yeah.
That fool.
Hey,
Hey,
come on. He's badass.
honestly though, I get it. I get it. Like now that
Damn, I
I
need to
see his
make that a
face,
token.
now that I see his face, totally get it. Especially when you
I-
compare his token to your token, how much more menacing you look compared
Yo,
to Hobby.
he's got the big old cheeks. I love it. Thank you,
Bro,
Edgar. I
that
gotta use
fool's
that.
like if that fool's like if a
He's so
grub
cute.
he's like the silver tooth kid version of a grub, bro.
Yeah,
fool
pretty much. Pretty
That's
much.
hilarious.
that fool's a straight up chamaco.
Silver
And
tooth
the
kid.
description,
Yeah.
too. Imagine a slightly cute yet menacing looking fat worm in a whimsical dark environment. The worm has a chubby glistening body with a vibrant shade of something it cuts off. That's
I
great.
feel like it
So
needs like
good.
one little like tooth sticking up.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. The underbite.
Mhm.
Little underbite.
Dang.
Yo, that fool definitely asked if you got games on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That was
Yeah.
a silver teeth kid.
You got eggs,
100%, bro.
That's the
Oh, I
kid
gotta
you would
pull
hide
him
your
out now.
PlayStation from.
Yeah,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
But then your mom be like, let him use it. And you're like,
Yeah, and then he
"Fuck."
gets the controller all sticky.
Yeah.
For sure.
Aw.
Yeah, ugh, fucking
The
disgusting.
worst is when you would grab a controller and it just be fucking warm and like fucking clammy and shit. Ugh.
Like a warm toilet seat.
There's your best
Ugh.
controller too.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh my god. Or like he's the one that like his player 2 controller always sucks and is like broken and he refuses to use it.
And
He
he
only
like
wants
so
to guess use
gloats
it.
about beating you, right? He
Yeah.
whoops your ass because
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
these buttons don't work.
Like half the buttons don't work. Yeah.
This shit looks like a N64 controller from McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell
Yeah,
Just
with
fucking
Oh my
the
god.
joysticks
bit.
all fucked up.
Yeah.
The fucking middle Joy-Con looks like it was fucking bitten off.
The Joy-Cons all like hanging
Yeah.
off like this.
Bro, so like I didn't
Eternal
have a
drift,
64
bro.
growing up, so like going to McDonald's was always like best day ever because like it
Hell yeah.
meant getting to maybe play Tony Hawk Pro Skater for like 5 minutes
Dude.
while
So
like my
good.
mom was ordering food and yelling for us to go.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that fool.
Oh, Tony Hawk?
No, Javi.
Look at Albert. It's my new token.
Oh man. I think my
Yeah.
owlbear's fucked up.
Yeah, I think mine is too.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Really?
Mhm.
I do.
Hmm.
Ah,
Are you guys logged in? I see Tybalt,
yeah.
Palpius, Fox, and Ebrath.
I just exited out, but yeah, I was locked in.
Hmm.
Gone, you.
So, in the meantime, while Gon works on that, oh, Gon, you're back.
I don't see nothing.
Oh, I don't see. Do you have a token down? That's probably why.
Oh, is that
I'm
why?
talking down.
How do we throw a token down again?
In
The
your bottom
little
menu
espada on the bottom.
where the sword is, yeah.
Did I drop my token or no?
Yeah,
I see
Oh,
I
an
see.
yeah, I
Edgar
have a
No.
token here. I have a token next to Tybalt.
Yep.
Yeah, for whatever reason
Okay.
I
Not
can't see it.
labeled,
Oh,
but I
hold
see
on.
it.
There it is.
Oh, it's the fog
Oh,
thingy.
it's huge. There we
Oh,
go.
wait. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Am I
Who
in
else
there?
doesn't see anything?
Hmm. Uh-huh.
I can. Oh, I can see him now.
Okay. All right.
She said, "You'd like to see how I'm naked." Sorry.
Translation. No indentation.
Oh, she likes
I
to see
don't
how
see
I was
anything,
naked,
sir.
dude.
No, I was eating Ritz.
Damn, big ass Fox fast. Let me cut it.
Gotta use the right token.
Mm,
Oh, that. See, before I could see the entire map. Oh, there it is. Okay.
There we go.
Is Jinx down here?
negative.
Can you drop her?
I
Not
don't
right
even
now.
see my little sword things to drop, and I'm
I'm gonna
signed
go
in.
chill with Fox and
Oh,
the.
Dave. Oh, you guys
See
still
the
gotta crop your
little-
tokens.
Baby, do you have
Saw
the
what?
bar on the
You
bottom?
guys still gotta crop your
I
tokens.
don't.
Oh,
No?
I
Oh, there you
know.
go.
Weird.
Is there another link, or is that the same link, or?
Another way to.
Dave Edgar just dropped
That's the same
a
link.
tokenized hobby
It's
for
the
you
the one
Oh,
that says
in
Ronster's Wrath of the Stormlord.
in the main
where?
server.
Oh, in the
Just
main. Oh, sweet. Thank you, dude. That's awesome. Appreciate
Hold
you.
on. Is there a shortcut maybe?
Just
How
drop
do you
me a
crop
link
the?
or something.
you gotta go on like
I'll
a
drop it
token
in
maker.
Discord real quick.
Google token maker. It'll be on there.
Okay, la chingada.
I put it in the Discord.
Thank you.
Is that the link Eddie posted?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's one I use.
Cool.
Yay, there we go. Thank you.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. I dropped.
Let's see.
Gotcha.
Bless you.
Thank you, but it
The
was a
following
call.
morning, or is
Oh.
this
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
following
when you
morning.
do that.
okay. All right, so I'm gonna come over here.
You're just gonna cuddle up with me, Palpius?
Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
wanted to spend time with you.
All right, let's do it.
Technically, I want to
Danger.
spend time with your worm.
All right, that's fair.
That
That's
doesn't
fair.
sound
Calling
right.
it, bro.
I wasn't supposed to.
God dang.
Cynthia, cochina.
He said it.
Can everybody see
You
everything
said
fine?
it.
Can we
Remember
all
what?
see what?
You guys all see fine?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I see the whole map.
Oh, I do not.
Well,
I have
like
I
the
just see the area around
circle.
us. I don't see like all of Leylon.
Yeah. This is
Hmm.
just the headquarters map, but
Yeah, I see our whole building though. I see all the rooms and shit.
okay, I think that's better.
Ah, there we go.
Cool. Yeah, so it's
Nice.
next morning, and you guys Gon's having coffee in the kitchen. Palpius and Vox are playing with little Javi. Palpius is giving him the coochie 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 coo. I imagine Javi's like, meh, meh,
Yeah, yeah,
meh.
exactly it. I love this token, dude. Thank you, Edgar. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Makes Fox a
So
little bit
perfect.
more likable.
Okay,
I'm just messing with you.
I'm leaving.
No, you're not.
Tybalt,
I
as
know.
you're, wake up in the morning like you normally do, what are you working on?
Uh, I will go out. I'll try and get out before the sunrise.
Mhm.
To go to the the Church of Lathander and just see kind of what their morning rituals look like.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that as you enter the church and walk throughout the courtyard, you'll see that there is like a large outdoor section or like open air kind of courtyard where you see several patrons are getting set up for the sunrise. They all kind of have their like mats out, um, you know, and are taking their time to settle themselves in and sort of just like meditate with the sunrise and say their prayers quietly to themselves. Do you join them or do you just observe?
Uh, just observe.
Yeah, as you as you look around and you watch, it's just a small handful of people. Not everybody is dedicated churchgoers, especially at sunrise, but mostly like older people. There's a couple of like old ladies, a few older gentlemen, maybe a couple younger guys that look like, worker construction types that are just trying to get their prayers in real quick before they start their day. Um, uh, what would you like to explore or
I'll just see if sort of just look at how they are, what their typical ritual looks like. But once I see that they're, getting to the rhythm and that, I will look for a patch of grass
Mhm.
and set down my tea set and start brewing some of my morning tea with the incense, and again just sip down, not down the tea, but like drink the tea and then look at the bottom to try and read the tea leaves that are left over.
what are you looking for in the tea leaves?
Looking for any looking for direction, mostly looking for whether the fact that we've come to Leylon was the best way to go, and then also thinking about where Fairlie is and trying see how much time we have, if we how much time we have before our next encounter with Fairlie.
Give me a religion check.
Okay. Could I do guidance as well, as I would
Sure.
have been
Sure.
focusing on it? Okay. No, natural 20.
Perfect.
So 24
As
without
you
the
Yeah, no, that's more than enough. Especially being at 20. Now I'm just trying to think of what
yeah.
how to justify nat 20. Um, in the sediments of your tea, the small sediments of tea leaves that are kind of just clumped together in at the bottom, um, making shapes that are like amorphous, and as you kind of swirl the last of the liquid around, you see that the tea leaves and sediments kind of fall into what looks to be the visage of a dragon. Um, as you stare into them and kind of open yourself up to the divine connection, using this image in your teacup as a focus of sorts. Um, you see a vision of a dragon sleeping, grumbling, to itself in its sleep, visibly looking stressed, almost like as if it's like when you watch somebody have a bad dream. Um, and you feel yourself surrounded by darkness. Um, in regards to Fairlie, you don't know what the connection is to this vision of this dragon that you're having to Fairlie necessarily. Um, but one thing that you do notice is that, damn, fucking nat 20. Um, as you kind of let yourself dwell on this vision of this dragon having a bad dream, you feel like you are able to almost forget about Fairlie and about the cult of miracle that you guys have been actively working against. As darkness starts to surround this dragon and is invading its peace, you gather the sense that this is not like a natural occurrence. I would say it almost feels uh, like an act of the gods. You get the sense that you're near the ocean. You can, if you try hard enough, you can hear the waves crashing off in the distance. Um, uh, damn, nat 20, man. I'm trying to think of what else
Wait,
to.
do I sense anything with my tattoo at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I had forgotten about that. Absolutely, yes, 1000%. Well, tell me a little bit more about your tattoo so I know how to relate it. Like, what
Well,
benefits do you take from it?
the now I'm trying to remember myself. Let's see. It is an aberrant dragon mark that allows me to cast both mage hand and shield. And when I use shield, I can either it's random chance for either me to get temporary hit points or for my enemy to receive those points as damage instead.
Okay.
It just happens randomly, so it's almost like like wild
Is
magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, is there a particular type of dragon that you are associated with?
It doesn't specify, so it doesn't have to be.
That's cool. No, perfect. That helps a lot. Um, perfect. In your vision, you also see uh a large statue of the. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm getting this right. Um, oh man, I can't think of the word. The name. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, and the name that I do have, I know for a fact is wrong, so I don't want to say it. But let's enter it here.
Someone tell me a song for the post. Any song.
For the post?
Free
I don't
bird.
know.
I didn't catch that. Yeah, the post. I posted on Instagram, Dave. You're not there, but I tag everybody in there every time I post a picture. And then for you, I just put and Dave.
Me too. I would just put
Oh,
Dave.
okay.
I put and Dave.
Um,
Ron, are you talking about Gnawbones?
no. Oh, okay. All right. In your vision, you see that there is this dragon that is having a bad dream. Is the best way I can describe it. You feel the encroaching darkness surrounding you, and not just you, but the dragon itself. And you also see a large looming figure of Bahamut, who is
Jesus.
um hmm, give me either a history or religion check, Tybalt, whichever you prefer, with guidance.
History or religion? They're gonna be the same. So do another religion. Ugh. Plus D4. 10.
Okay. Um, being that your divine connection is a connection to the Forgotten Realms pantheon of gods that are typical to most like humanoid species. You're not super well versed in other religions per se, but you know that Bahamut is a sort of deity figure for dragon kin and dragon kind, whatever you call them. Um, you know that yeah, that this is a dragon deity. And this visage of this dragon deity is like almost like looming over you, kind of enveloping you as you feel a tap on your shoulder. Uh, and suddenly the darkness disperses and you are filled with the warmth of the sunlight kind of shining down on you as now the sun has crested over the hills and is illuminating the courtyard that you're in. You open your eyes and see that everybody else is kind of in the midst of their prayers. Some are finishing up as the sun has risen a bit. Um, and you find yourself next to Marigold Brightshine, the elf who, or sorry, halfling who runs the temple there. And they say, Tybalt, it's been quite some time. Glad to see that you've made it back in one piece. I hope your adventures were not too dastardly and that everything went according to plan.
Oh, thank you. It has. Things normally don't go according to plan, but we we do what we can.
Good, good. Had you received my letter?
I did. I take it out and show it to him. Like I did. What what trouble do you have?
Well, should be told, no trouble at all. This is a very good thing that we have, a good problem to have. Um, the Neverwinter has the crown at Neverwinter has um, acknowledged your efforts as of late and has granted us a large grant to um, build up our temple and to make it as accommodating as we can and to provide our services to the people of Leilon and to the people of the Sword Coast. Um, your efforts in deterring these false gods has gotten some wind in your sails, so to speak. And we have been authorized to set up shop elsewhere, so to speak. Being that you are an adventurer of sorts and a cleric of the gods, we would like you to be our emissary in your travels, seeking out other temples and spreading the good word of Lathander and all of his bounty that he brings, being the light in the darkness that you're so good at being, Tybalt. There is financial compensation that goes along with this. We wouldn't ask you to do this for free, but in your travels, as you fight off and defend the Sword Coast from these false gods, if there are temples that you come across, converting them to shrines for Lathander would be well compensated for you.
Well, you're too kind. The work that we've done has been to protect the realm from greater evil, and to be honest, I haven't found myself thinking that I'm a true follower of Lathander, so I feel as if I may not be the right person to the task. I Let me ask you, have you ever considered pledging your allegiance or loyalty to a different god?
Mary Bright smiles and says, I see. And without doubt, Tybalt, it is an understatement that you are one of the only forces of light that we have in this world of darkness. You're constantly surrounded by violence and destruction and death. The followers of Talos, the followers of Miracle, constantly on your heels, constantly threatening what you love. And obviously, there are, without a doubt, other gods. We're not here to say that, Lathander's the only god. There are plenty of gods in the pantheon that bless us every day. As followers of Lathander, it is our duty to be that light in the world for others, to be the example that there's still good in the world, to do the right thing when nobody else is watching. It makes sense that you would question your faith in a way. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm trying to understand your perspective. But I think as you envelop yourself in the world, you open yourself up to more than just the halls of a temple. You see more of the world than most clerics and priests do. And it is because of that you must remain steadfast in your faith. I know you have a strong connection to some of the other gods and goddesses, and he kind of points at your necklace of Savras? Yeah, Savras. He points to your eyeball necklace of, the visage of Savras, and he says, I understand that not just Savras itself or herself, but the necklace holds some sentimental value to you. we've heard the tales of your past exploits prior to Leylon, and we know that you've lost some important people, and their connection to other gods makes sense, and it makes sense that you would cherish those connections yourself. And by all means, it is only to your benefit to explore those questions that you have and find a way to grow through them. And I have faith. I have faith in you, Tybalt, that you're more than capable of finding the light in the darkness when necessary. You've proven that time and time again. And that's why we found it fitting to come to you with this request. We think you are well suited for the task.
Well, how about what I can vow is this? As we venture out into the world, I'll find others like you who are dedicated, who can stand up a church just like this. But you've done a fine job, by the way.
And he says, thank you. It's not me by myself. It takes a village, as they say. We're blessed to have a strong congregation of faithful followers here in Leylon. A big part of that is your influence. The people of the city have seen what you guys have done, and take inspiration from that. They're inspired by your dedication to not just them but to the realm, and that's what we do. We do the right thing and become the beacon of hope for others when they are lost in darkness.
And that is what I've always wanted.
He says, well, please take your time, think on these things. We don't even necessarily need an answer, but just know that throughout your adventures, as you come across temples, should you make us notified of them, we will work on getting them set up to be converted and to spread the influence of light throughout the lands.
Did he disconnect?
Ronnie?
No, sorry, I'm still here.
Ah.
Okay. Tybalt says that I can do.
And he reaches behind him and pulls out a small coin purse and hands it over to you. He says, for everything that you've done so far, this is just a small token of our gratitude from the Church of Lathander to you. We appreciate all that you've done and are excited to see the impact you'll have in changing the world, and not just fending off the influences of these evil false gods, but also expanding the influence of the church and the Church of Lathander and bringing the light to other areas of darkness in the world. And he'll hand you a bag of coins.
And Tybalt will take it and say, "Thank you. This will go towards my patronage for the next church, as I've done with you."
And he says, that would be very appreciated. And if you ever find yourself in need of guidance or any sort of assistance, you know where to find us.
And Tibble says, if you wouldn't mind, just if I could stick around, and if there are any rituals that you are performing today, if I could just be a part of it and see them. I feel like I don't know what sort of rituals can be had.
Sure. He says, absolutely, Tibble. We would love for you to join us. I understand that you don't always have the time in your travels to dedicate yourself to furthering your uh, education in the ways of the church. Please, by all means, sit in and observe and take what you can. We're here if you have any questions. And with that,
Thank
he'll
you.
bid you adieu. Now,
Right.
for the sake of downtime, we can say that if you'd like to sit in on a certain ritual, just let me know what ritual you would like to sit in on. If there is anything specific that you would like, and maybe we'll after a couple like skill checks or something, you maybe you kind of learn some sort of skill or something from them.
Okay. Yeah, just the rituals that I know. Um. Oh. Uh, I don't know what that was. There was one. Detect magic. I know. Uh. So one could be gentle repose. It's a second level necromantic spell that allows the caster to protect the target from decay, and it can't become undead.
Okay.
So if there are any people that are passing that they're performing that on.
Okay. We'll take a look at things and we'll figure something out. I
Okay,
don't know off the top of my head. I don't know personally like all the rituals and stuff off the top of my head, so I'd
gotcha.
have to kind of read through them and find a way to make
Okay,
it work. But I'm open to
yeah,
something like that.
all right,
Um,
that's good.
cool. I sent you a quick DM. Just check that when you get a chance.
Got it,
Um,
got it.
cool. And then everybody else, what else? Is there anything else you'd like to do while you're there at the temple or at the church?
Not there, just taking the time to sort of integrate myself with the community, and if there's any information that can be gleaned from that, or if anyone wants to share any information with me that's out of the ordinary that I would make note of, then we can do.
Cool. Perfect. Um, yeah, and as you spend time with the congregation, you spend time uh, giving people their blessing, or whatever it might be that the church does, and uh, doing whatever like churchly duties you want to do. Um, back to the group. What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna have like morning coffee, quick breakfast. I mean, not even breakfast. I don't really need to eat, but quick morning coffee,
Is Palpius
funsies.
cooking breakfast?
Damn right I
Maybe
am.
it's just like straight like meat. It's just boar and like that's it.
Well, what do you
Um,
want?
I'm chilling. I'm not even eating breakfast. I'm just making coffee
He's a
and
carnivore.
heading to
cool.
the blacksmith.
Real
Get
quick,
us carne or not?
yeah, Palpius, give me a
Here we
survival
go.
check.
Oh,
I think would be the appropriate one.
Got it, Toots. 20.
Cool. Yeah,
Nice.
you having have lived off the land, not unlike Vox Aslan, you're very proficient with cooking meals over a fire. So to have a stovetop just accelerates your cooking skills to another level. You're able
Hell yeah.
to whip up whatever meal you want to at this point. Lots of cooked hams and beef, uh, steaks, um, lots of morning
Protein.
veggies, things like that. Potatoes, eggs, whatever you want. You're cooking it up. Um, I would say, yeah, I would say you cook a good breakfast. Gone for one is very appreciative of your coffee. I'm sure Ebrath is as well.
Making that cowboy coffee or what?
Filter
It's
through a
straight
sock,
up
bro.
mud.
It's just like your version of a cafe de olla. You just don't
I
have the
know I
But
haven't
pepper, the
cleaned in a minute.
cinnamon. Yeah.
And then
As he's doing that, I want to get just a pulse on the town. Like, how far is the tavern or like inn from where we are?
let me pull up the map. I mean, I would say within, obviously everything's within walking distance. The tavern is on the north side of the town, just outside um, the Palisades. Is that what they're called? The fucking walls and shit. Um,
The battlements.
yeah. Uh, I was hoping for our. Anyway, yeah. It's just on the outside of the wall. Is the tavern that you guys frequent there with the in or the tavern keeper that is very friendly. I don't know if you guys remember, but they are very friendly. Um, the inn is kind of to the east. Um, what are you looking to pursue?
Well, I think kind of first and foremost, um, I mean, it's a toss-up. I'd be curious to see if Castitia's merchant ship has arrived back, if anyone's heard of that. Um, Also, if anyone's just giving me weird looks, like, oh, this
Um,
guy's attacking people.
I would feel like most people give you weird looks. I would say that a lot of the workers and soldiers and things like that have sort of become accustomed to seeing you around, but not necessarily comfortable in your presence, if that makes sense.
But like
But
normal uncomfortable, right? Like not, is it more than normal?
I would say like how
you
in
freaked them
like
out, man.
the movies or maybe even in real life there are times where a person is like walking along the street and they notice a particular other person on the same side of the street as them and they cross the street to avoid that person. It's kind of like that. They're just like, oh, hey, there's that fucking guy. I'm just gonna go this way. But I would say depending on how you choose to interact with people, they would be open to conversation with you. Not like running away in fear, but just uh, maybe afraid of approaching you directly themselves.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'd probably be less interested in them since I'm sort of used to that. And I'd want to head over to the tavern and just see if I'd talk to I don't even know if they're open, but assuming they are, I would be engaging the hostess, right? I forgot who it was in Leylon. Um, Man, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Is anybody else going to the tavern? Real quick before we get into like actual all these other role plays and conversations, what is it? I just want to get a quick feel for what everybody wants to accomplish in town. That way I can kind of try to prioritize things a bit.
Okay, so right now I'm trying to just go to see the blacksmith to see how she's been doing, like with the new shit she's been working on, seeing
Okay.
if I could help. Eventually after we've regrouped, I'm going to be wanting to go to the tower, but probably with some backup.
Okay.
I'll probably join you with on the way to the blacksmith,
Okay, cool.
since I'm always intrigued by weapons and that sort.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. How about Jinx and Gone? What are you guys up to in your kind of day to day?
After I'm still like in bed and stuff, but like after I get situated, I would like to swing by Frogwarts real quick, check
Okay.
in. Yeah.
And Gone, how about you?
I would say that I go with her I'm curious about what the Frogwarts looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luna.
Tybalt, are you joining anybody, once you're done at the church there?
After the morning, I'd probably go to the tavern since that's where everyone would be most likely.
Well, it sounds like Vox is headed there. It sounds like Ebrath and Palpius are going over to the blacksmith.
Yeah, I'd probably run into Vox at the tavern.
Cool. All right, let's knock that one out then, because I think that would probably be the fastest. As you make your way through town, you enter the tavern, and I actually have a map for the tavern. Let's pull that up. There we are. I have your old token, so I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, it's what I mean. Unless they're relevant, that's fine.
Yeah, this is just be a quick conversation. Um, but you find yourself here at the tavern. Let me get the guy's name because I forget it too.
I like this cozy tavern music.
Yeah.
It's pleasant.
Chill.
These strings can get it.
Is it the Umber Hulk Inn?
Yes, it is.
So it's Valdi Estepar. No, she said to speak with Valdi Estepar at the dock, but I don't know who actually runs the Umber Hulk Inn. I'm
I got
looking.
it right here. It's coming up right now. Exploring. Let's see. Umberhelp Shell Inn.
Valine?
Nope, it's Alion Malwyn. A kind-hearted human runs the newly constructed two-story inn. A bed for the night costs 5 silver, while a meal costs 1.
What's his name?
Alion
Elion
Malwyn.
Malwyn.
I'll post it in the chat so you get the spelling.
Man, that's got to be like 6 months ago we talked to this dude.
It's been a bit. Where is so here we go. There, what's the name? Elian Melwin. He is a very friendly human who is the innkeeper and tavern keeper here. He sees you come in and he says, Vox Aslan, it's been some time since you've been here. Where have you been? Tell me. Pull up a chair. I'd love to hear your stories.
We've been across the seas, and it went fairly well, Elion, but we're back in town because we need to pursue Fairlie, who we believe is causing a lot of the problems here. But But beyond what we've done, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'm more interested in what's going on in the town. Last I was here, there were some cruise ships and some, well-to-do folks that were sort of lurking in the area. It almost seemed like they were on holiday or vacation. Um, everything seemed okay at the time, but has anything changed on that front?
He says, we've been getting so much travelers as of late. As the town grows, so does the commerce. With the extra trade comes, fancy folks from fancy places. And at this time, I would say, Tybalt, you're more than welcome to enter the inn as well. You would see Vox Aslan sitting at the bar, having a conversation. Are you having a drink, Vox?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what time of day it is. Like, if it's super early morning, probably not. But I'd say if it's like maybe a little before noon, sure.
Bro,
Yeah, I
I've
would say
seen
it's
you
like
crack a
11
beer
to
open
10.
for
Hey,
breakfast.
shut up, shut up. This is
Don't
role
even act
play.
like
No, this is Vox. This is not Dave. Okay.
Vox doesn't have a drinking
I
problem.
thought Vox was an embodiment of Dave.
God damn.
And most likely, though, to answer your question, Ronnie, most likely.
It's a yes.
Cool.
That's a yes. It's fine.
As
Fine,
long as
you
it's
caught
not
me.
7 a.m., right? As long as it's not
Yeah,
like crack of dawn.
exactly. Yeah.
As long as the sun's up, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't have a problem. Okay, he's
you
not.
know.
He's not one of those guys that has drinks at 7 a.m. If it's 7:30, that's a different story.
So yeah.
A
Absolutely.
little hot
7:30.
coffee
Absolutely.
with a splash of whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. He's got
Absolutely.
that.
Milk and
Um,
whiskey is what we have in D&D.
Ugh,
Milk and whiskey.
that sounds awful.
That's the lactose guy.
I don't know. Jinx kind of likes that.
Jinx is also kind of weird.
So I was just hoping nothing's gone wrong on that front, but it sounds like everything's okay. Have you seen uh this new school that's come to town, and what do you make of that?
He says, the frog butts or something, right?
That's the one. Bam, slam my glass and take a drink.
And he
The
says,
frog butts.
He says, I used to know this lady. She had a funny accent. She loved spicy foods. And she
Possibly a
would
better
always
name.
say this little ritual of hers anytime somebody got hurt. She said something about frog butts and sanas or something. I
Yeah.
don't remember it entirely, but yeah, I've seen there seems to be this. Truthfully, I believe it's an orphanage of sorts. Whoever is running that must have a kind heart. They are doing some good for some people that need good in their lives, and I respect that.
And what do you make of their current modern day potential? Do you think they're worthy of fighting, or do you think that's like throwing them in the deep end and they stand no chance against some seasoned soldiers? How capable do you think they are?
And Hallian kind of looks over at Tybalt for almost reassurance as he says, well, Vox Aslan, these are children for the most part. There are a few older kids, sure. But to imagine them fighting and running off on and accomplishing quests and missions of sorts, who would put that on children? I mean, that's unspeakable.
And what do you make of the mentors? There are a couple of folks that seem to be teaching them, but what do you make of them? Do you think they're battle hardened and ready?
Says, they're strange for sure. They are not from around here, at the very least. They carry about themselves in a very odd way, but I mean, I've never observed them myself, to be honest with you, but from time to time they step in for a drink, and at the very least, a few of them look like they've seen their fair share of the world and might be able to hold their own if you know, the wrong person crossed them, I certainly wouldn't challenge them. But then again, I'm more of a lover than a fighter.
And I hate to bombard you with all these questions at this time in the morning, but I appreciate your feedback. I'll slip them a little 5 gold.
And he says, "Hey, I always appreciate the company. I know that, with the way things are going nowadays, it seems to be getting a little bit scarier and scarier as each day passes. There's rumors of merchants going missing on the high road. Uh, you know, there are. I'm trying to think of what else. You know,
I will tell you candidly, Elion. I know we don't know each other all that well, but I think you know me and you know what good intentions I have. I may or may not have attacked a certain captain on the high seas, and
You're just admitting to naval crimes?
while I don't regret it, I do believe that maybe my temper got the best of me. Um, I don't know if you've heard from Casticia, but I hope that in the event that she comes to you and raises concerns about my demeanor, that you could potentially talk her down a little bit and let her know maybe that wasn't the best of my character.
and he
But
says, well, I understand, Vox. We all find ourselves in stressful situations at times, and we don't always respond appropriately. This happens. This is part of life. We make mistakes, and sometimes they're not mistakes, but being right always isn't the answer either. And to be fair, this Casticia, is that correct?
that's correct.
Says, well, if it makes you feel any better, Voxassin, I've never heard of a Casticia.
Casticia, and there may have
And
been
he says, but what I will say is, I have heard rumors of a pirate of sorts. I would urge you to never cross her. She is said to be very feared.
would that be Stanzentar?
Oh, you've heard the rumors too. Yeah, there's crazy stories about her. I would stay far, far away from her if I were you.
Well, we're a little past that. Uh, you know, again, if you can just speak the truth about my character and what we've done for the town, and maybe try to talk her down a little bit, I would appreciate it.
And he says, well, I'd appreciate it if you didn't scare off all my patrons. I mean, you're not the most handsome guy here at the shop here at 10 a.m. in the morning, but your company is always welcome.
I hope you understand we have the city's best interests in mind, and what's happening. I guess I'll brief you a little more early on. We're fighting essentially what is an evil cult that only answers to the Stormlord and is looking to overtake this entire area. And I sort of lower my voice as I'm saying this, so as not to alarm the patrons. There is a cult that's been causing mass disruptions in sea travel and in.
And he says, oh, don't I know all about it, Voxassin? This Church of the Thunder, they're everywhere nowadays. So it's like you can't even just have a drink with that. And he says, oh, Tybalt, I apologize. It was a joke. I kid. I kid.
This cult, they're a problem, and that's what we're currently facing. And I don't know that there's a simple answer. But again, I may have let my temper get the best of me, and I don't want it to fall back on us to the extent that I can control that damage. So, again, I would appreciate anything you do to help preserve the reputation of the 9-9. It's not just me. I may have made a bad decision in that moment. Again, I don't regret it, but I don't want the rest of my teammates, my compatriots, to suffer as a result of that. And anything you can do to help with that, I would appreciate.
He
I'll
says,
slip
well,
I'll slip him another like 20 gold.
and he'll push you another drink, and he'll pour one for himself. And he says, Tybalt, do you drink?
For me, thank you. It's too early in the morning for my liking.
And he says, well, you know what they say. So there are zones with different times. And those times are appropriate somewhere. Don't get talalagged.
Elion, one more thing. We have concerns about Galio.
He says, oh, that crazy old wizard.
Precisely.
He says, I don't think Galileo is much of a threat. He's afraid of the mice that scurry about his books. But he doesn't come out very often. He mostly stays in his tower, assisting the military folks that are staying up in there. We don't see much of Galileo from time to time.
We think I'll correct that. I think he may be taking a turn for the worst. Can you think of anybody that might be well suited to keep an eye on him a little bit?
So as well, the soldiers are holed up in the tower there and using it as a barracks of sorts. So I would urge you to speak to Private Jessup. He is in and out of there on the day to day, and he would be a good person to talk to about that.
We appreciate the tip.
Yeah, I believe his wife is a blacksmith in town. She might have some information.
I think that's all I got, Tybalt. If you have anything else, it's up to you.
I don't, not for him, but if you had a moment, Box, I wanted to bring something up that I
Please
saw this morning.
let's discuss in confidence. And
And
thank you,
he will.
Elion, for
Alion will say,
everything.
"Yeah, I'll give you guys your space. If you need anything, just wave me down." And you'll see that he starts to kind of head over to one of the nearby tables to check on them and gives you the space you need.
And Tybalt says, "Hey, this morning I was looking to focus on what our next step was to be, and in trying to focus on Fairlie and the threat that she brings, all I saw was a dragon. A dragon concerned with something, who knows what, but laying near water and under a statue of its deity. I fear that there may be a greater threat, even greater than Fairlie, that where Fairlie may be taking our attention away from that. I don't know what that means just yet, but I feel like you should know, because I know Fairlie is your priority, but there may come a time where we need to decide between Fairlie your daughter, and the world.
Yes, I've come to this realization myself. And based on what you're saying, I wonder if the dragon in your vision was Lama Runtos's lair. I know that we've previously had indications that there are dragon shards there. And it certainly seems like dragon shards are what will either be our demise or our key to victory. Uh, without
Then
having
maybe
the
this
knowledge of
is.
of overhearing everything, do you have any idea where this dragon might reside?
I don't, but knowing that it's near water makes me think we've either passed it or missed it somewhere along the way. Or maybe it's the tower that Fairlight is going to.
I think that might be the case, Tybalt. I I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but I agree with you. The decision may come to one or the other.
It's not a choice for you to make now, so let's not dwell on that, but just think about it.
I absolutely will. Where
Uh,
can we who here might know more about the dragons in the area?
Well, I think Alion is a good source of rumors. Um, Galileo would have a full library of resources, you know.
Okay.
I would say those two are
maybe
probably your best bets.
Galileo then, or Elion for any news, Galileo for any history concerning dragons.
That's a good take on it.
Is
In fact,
Lady
I think even I think Alion was the one who originally even mentioned the dragons to you in passing.
Okay.
Mm.
All right, so definitely before we leave, I'd like to ask Elion a little bit more about that. Is Lady Gariel here or in the other town?
She's a Phandalin.
Okay. All right, well, that's a ways away. I'll still bring it up. Tybalt, you'll remember that Lady Gariel mentioned that the Crypt Garden Forest was home to an ancient green dragon. And while there was mention of kyber crystals there, I don't know that that's close enough to the ocean to what you saw in your vision. Although dragons can move.
Isn't the Crypt Garden Forest where we ran into
I think Crypt Garden Forest is like
Ascendus?
it's like very far east, isn't it? Can you show us the map real quick, Ronnie, please?
Yep. No, it's not, Edgar, to answer your
Okay,
question.
It's like pretty far east and like I think a little south of where we are.
gotcha.
Did you happen to notice a color on the dragon?
What was the color of the dragon?
You never asked.
Okay.
So you guys were in kind of. Can you guys see the map?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You guys were kind of down here in the swamps of the Mirror of the Deadman when you guys encountered Ascendus, but Crypt Garden Forest is to the east of that.
Where is Leylon?
It's like right here. It's not loaded on
Okay.
this map, but it's like right here.
Okay. So it's like due east, like
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah.
Um So I don't know, Tybalt. That's the Crypt Garden Forest Dragon probably isn't the one you saw, but it's possible.
Um, Tibble, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion 11.
Okay. You in your vision you would have seen the dragon had a brownish, almost like rusty color to it. Its skin would have shimmered with the moonlight shining down on it. Um, Almost like if it was metallic nature.
All right, I'll relay that information.
Okay. Brownish with a metallic scaling. That's probably not the same one, but I don't want to throw anything off the table because it's possible.
And looking at the map, it's the Crypt Garden Forest looks too far to where you would hear the waves.
But
Right
remember,
kind of water.
this is a dragon, and as far as the cult's concerned, I mean, they might have been able to convince it to come out. I'm not saying, look, there's a low chance. I'm just saying, let's not throw it out the window yet.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
could be the same. It could be the same.
Give me a history check.
Who?
Either one of you.
Who would do better at history?
+2.
+4.
Take it.
I'll take it. That's an 8.
You can add guidance
4
to
plus
yourself.
4. 4 plus 4 plus 2, 10.
And then with Fox's help, you can add an additional 2 for a 12. I'll say
Okay.
that as you are kind of scratching your brain regarding which dragons it could possibly be and how they might relate to the cult, you will, and especially, actually, especially because of your conversation with Marigold Brightshine earlier and having brought up Blast and his connection to Savras and that necklace. It's almost as if it's like Blast is kind of on the forefront of your brain and or just on the edge of your subconscious. And you'll remember that initially the Cult of Miracle was looking to take over the body of the white dragon that you guys had fought.
Right.
Can't think of his name, but
White
yeah,
dragon?
that the white dragon, yeah.
Oh shit. Fuck. I remember.
Cryo vein.
Cryovane, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That originally the Cult of Miracle was interested in inhabiting the body of Cryovane.
And they said that they're moving on to the dragon in the Crypt Garden Forest, right?
Right, I thought
Yeah,
so. They were looking
Gnawbones.
to take over Ebendeth or
Gnawbone?
Gnawbones.
Gnawbones. Ebendeth was the Draco Lich that they were trying to like revive into somebody. That was where we got
We
the
encountered them,
sword.
right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
That was where I got where Blast got the sword, was at the tomb of Ebendeth.
Okay.
Gnawbones is the one that lives supposedly in Crypt Garden Forest. We don't know for sure because last official news that Gnawbones was alive was like a long ass time ago. but it would also is one of the reasons why we didn't go there initially is because if Gnawbones is alive, it's way older and much stronger than Cryobane.
Okay.
And Gnawbones, do we know if it's a
It's a green
what
dragon.
would the green dragon? So then
Yeah.
it's not Gnawbones. It's a different dragon.
At least as
'Cause
far
this
as
one's
far as we recall. Can I? Are
yeah.
we together talking right now?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No.
Tybalt, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, what do you think if we maybe ask Elion what he might know about the dragon situation, and maybe take it from there, maybe discuss with the group and see where we get.
Agreed. He did mention that there were that people were disappearing on the roads. I figured it was the cult activity, but maybe it's the dragon activity.
It very well could be. Elion!
He says, yes, yes, I'll be right over. And he finishes pouring a couple drinks for a table and rushes over and he says, it's time for another drink for you, huh?
Well, it might be, but first of all, sorry to keep interrupting you and sending you away. That's not proper, but we we've been discussing potential dragon activity in the area, and you've given us some good information before, and I think you're as much as they might be rumors and theories and little whisperings here and there. I think your insight brings a lot of value. What have you heard lately about dragons in the area, and in particular, um, any maybe slightly darker dragons with like a metallic scaling? Is there anything that comes to mind?
He says, well, one thing that I have heard is that as people pass through, they bring rumors with them and give as much credit to rumors as you give credit to rumors. But
That's all we ask. All we ask
um,
is what you've heard. We understand that you haven't vetted it yourself, but please.
some of the merchants that have come through recently have given concern because merchants are going missing. Not just merchants, but people supposedly have been going missing. Now I recall this was a previous problem before. I know you guys dealt with some scaly friends, but there seems to be a little bit more to it than that. In fact, I've also heard that Gnawbones, the green dragon from Cryptguard Forest, she normally stays within the confines of her lair and hunts within the forest, but there have been rumors of her hunting outside the forest, which is very odd. She's known to be a creature of habit, and for her to break her routines, it's a bit concerning. I hope that we are set up to defend ourselves from a dragon such as Gnawbones. I can imagine the damage it would cause to any city,
Where
let alone Layla.
where have they been going missing, Elion?
He says, on the high road between Leyland and Waterdeep, just south of here. I would talk to um, the person in charge of the military. He'd have more information about that. But like I said, these are rumors. And many times people like to
Embellish, sure,
explore their fears and embellish
sure.
their stories a bit
Yeah,
more.
they're so full of shit.
But
Would that
sometimes,
be would
they
that be
hear a
Private
rustling in the
Jessup?
bush. They make up stories in their head to make it seem more exciting. So when they meet somebody at a bar and tell a story.
The fish was this big. Am I right?
Exactly. And truthfully, I don't. I've never heard of Gnawbones to hunt outside of their lair, and so I would take this with a grain of salt. He says, "What's this other one you're asking about?"
So you're saying maybe we should talk to Private Jessup?
Oh, yes. I mean, anything regarding people missing, things like that. He's the member of the military. He would know.
Yeah, well, we want to get a sense of if there are any dragons in the area. We suspect there's a low probability, right? Again, the fish was this big, but there might be some cult involvement there.
He says, "Well, as far as I know, you seem to be the experts on dragon repel repelling. As I recall, there's one less dragon in the area to worry about, thanks to you folks."
We do our best, Elion. Thank you for the information.
He says, "Of course. It's a shame that Luma Terrasos is no longer here. They were great defender of the Sword Coast, and now that they're gone, it seems like many evils have been allowed to creep in. This never would have happened on their watch."
Well, before we depart here, is there anything else of note that, you think we might want to know?
He says, I mean, all I have are rumors and stories, but I would check in with the town council. Griselda has always had something coming up, and uh, who knows what Galio's up to.
Yes, Galio's definitely on the radar. I thought to maybe check in with Griselda, but now I definitely will. I appreciate that. Thank you, and I'll give him another 10 gold.
He says, "Your tips are very welcome. Thank you very much." And he'll pour you another drink.
All right. And with that, I'm pretty much done here, Tybalt, unless you have anything else.
Nope. Good here.
Cool.
I need to take out casts, so you guys can definitely keep going. I'll mute myself, but I do need to take her out.
Cool. Yeah. Heading over to Ebra. Do you guys want to take a break or?
We can take a quick break. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Let's do that then.
Wake up, Bubbles.
All right. I'm
All right, I'm gonna leave my headphones in. I was gonna listen, but I need them to charge anyway, so I'll be back.
Okay, yeah, let's take a quick 10-minute break.
All right.
Here.
Sounds good.
Dude, Andre, so I know you're not watching Bad Batch, but the season's kind of bringing everything together in a way that I'm really stoked for.
Hell yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, like Star Wars is about to have its like Avengers moment, and like it's all finally coming together.
Oh yeah, that's tight.
Yeah, pretty stoked about it.
Yo, so my buddy that I was trying to get to play with us on Saturday, he just got he just got um like the official email that he's like teetering on the edge of the pro class.
Nice.
He's rating his highest rating right now is like 970 and he's averaging in the 950s.
Dude,
So
that's
it's
so
like
crazy because
yeah.
like, well, what I was saying was like it's crazy because the like story of disc golf in the pro tour at least right now is that like, or like the narrative I guess is that the like skill level is the highest it's ever been, and
Yeah.
so
Hey,
we
did you stop the stream? Or is it
no,
still
it's still
okay? Okay.
um the like level of play is the highest it's ever been, and so
Hmm.
like you have all these like super like talented pro athletes or pro disc golfers that are like
Yeah.
crushing, you know, and getting
Yeah.
like 1,000+ rated rounds and still ending in like 15th place,
Yeah. Yeah.
playing their best round they've ever played it in their life.
That's
But
crazy.
everybody else is just so good now that it's like hard for the like established pros to like keep up.
Well, I mean that's like like MMA, you know?
Yeah,
Like MMA
exactly.
20 years ago compared to now.
Well, you look at just the advancements of in technology and training and discs and equipment. Um, but on that note, Ronnie, if it rains, it's supposed to rain tomorrow morning.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow morning. I was trying to go tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, so I don't think Ken Malloy is a good choice because
Yeah,
of
no,
how muddy it would be, but I'm
that's a
down to
good.
play like a different place if you want to play.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna rain when I
Yeah.
initially planned this out, so I didn't think about that. But
I'm thinking
knowing
like a
that it's
more like a grassy one, like
I was
La
kind of
Mirada or
thinking
something.
Twyla Reed,
I'm down. I'll play it.
and my reasoning is that I
There's
think
no one, no
in
one's
the
gonna be there,
because of
right?
the rain,
Yeah,
so I feel like
I'm
it's gonna
down.
be kind of empty.
Oh,
Let's
that'd
do
be
it, dude.
nice.
Yeah, when you get done with your haircut, just hit me up and we'll figure it out from there.
Dude, me and
Yeah,
Ramon tried to go play on Wednesday and it was like full of soccer.
I
Every single
know.
fucking field. I was so
You,
pissed.
you guys got to go try the new one, dude.
It's not open yet.
it's open April
Oh,
1st.
April 1st, huh?
It's
Oh,
April
shit.
1st. I'm pretty sure it's opening with the tournament, so I'm not gonna go fucking play that shit.
Yeah.
Imagine you go there and
Awesome.
they're like, "Nah, just kidding."
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
we're gonna play next month for sure. I want to play
Yeah.
probably maybe like the second weekend.
Yeah. So I don't know what the restrictions are on like hours and stuff. Normally they only let disc golfer, and again, this is like on the courses here, they only let you play like in the later hours, which end up being cheaper anyway. But like I was looking at some of those initial tee times, I'm like, fuck, $40 to play some disc
Yeah.
golf. But hopefully like in the later hours, is it's always they call it like the twilight hours. Um, hopefully will be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to trying to figure out to book online. Showing tea times for okay. Um,
Twilight Reach should be fun though, Ronnie. We have to do like the long tees and shit, the full 18 layout. I've never done it before.
Yeah, I'm down. Is it different than just the same 9 twice, or?
Well, you know, you start the nine, and then remember we've seen like the weird little markings on the sidewalk. Like for number one, remember you have the regular tee, and it's like a
Mhm.
short one. For the long tee, it's like by the practice basket
Oh, okay.
on for
That
like
makes it way
10.
harder.
Yeah, so you have that because you have to go over like that fence and like the shit in
Hmm.
that first little spot. But all of them have like different tee pads that people just created. It's just like the locals were like, oh, I'm gonna make this little spot and they paint it and it's like that's a tee pad now, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
So it
It
should be
doesn't
interesting.
it doesn't look like we still, so it's the same thing. They're not letting, they must be revamping the website like as soon as it
Yeah.
actually opens officially, because I tried it a few weeks ago and it's telling me the same thing. To book any weekend in April, it's not letting you until March 31st.
Okay.
Because right now it's not even set up to differentiate between golf and disc golf.
And they
Yeah.
might not differentiate though, because
No, they usually don't.
yeah, that's what
They
I'm
might
saying.
not,
Like,
but I mean, if they're gonna have distinctions, like not only letting you play later in the day, they have to, because they let you
That's
book
true.
online.
That's true.
So
Yeah, I'm sure they're still figuring all their shit out. I told you, like, one of the key things though is you guys should try to tell them, like, hey, the guy that goes like diving for golf balls, like, can you have him get the discs? Because that'll be clutch, man, once it comes to that time, you know.
yeah, that'd be sick. I'm trying to see what the times are.
Especially because you said there's like 5 holes that have water hazards or something.
Yeah, it's 5 of them.
That's gnarly.
Be sick though. So I'm glad I got 2 floating discs now.
Yeah, you're gonna be so glad you got those, man. But
I think
even
Ramon
then,
has like
like,
4 now.
fuck, yeah, sometimes if you're like so far in there, there's no way the retriever can reach them, and you're just like
Yeah,
seeing it float on the water, and you're like, fuck.
yeah, I'll just go around. Fuck it. I'm not trying to, especially playing the course for the first time.
Yeah.
that's how I play it, dude. I play it safe. I don't give a fuck.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
You
I
go
do.
straight. No, you don't. You go right over the water. You're like, fuck it.
Only on that one because it's a short hole.
Whatever.
But like the later one where like we lost my disc that one time, but we were able to like get it out. Like that one, I try to stay as far away from the water as possible. It's scary.
Yeah. All right, who's missing still? Julio? No, Julio's chilling right there. I can see him.
Just Edgar and Papos.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, Edgar's back.
Do you guys hear piano vibrating?
Mm-mm.
No.
All right.
Ready, 10.
We're rewatching Modern Family because I've actually never seen it like all the way through. I've only ever seen like random episodes here and there, and I ran out of things to watch. So that's one of the things we're watching right now.
It's a good show. It's
funny, honestly, like-
it's witty.
I laugh out
Yeah.
loud more than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Who are your favorite characters?
Phil.
Yeah,
Who?
feels pretty good.
Oh, Phil.
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phil's number one.
Nah, dude. For me, it's Jay. Jay's number one.
think so.
I love him, dude. Phil's funny because like I feel like Phil's the Michael Scott of the show, where
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
he's the like moral compass, but is stupid and like doesn't like
Who?
Phil Dunphy.
Phil Dunphy.
Oh yeah, Phil's the best.
Um,
Phil's one of the best dads on TV, period.
one of the things like I've noticed is that like this show is just so good at like little things that like a lot of other shows skip over. And just like they reference their own jokes a lot, or
Oh yeah,
not even
they're
jokes.
callback. They're callback kings. Like they'll even set things up, and then you get the delivery like 15 minutes later, or they'll
Yeah,
set something up like halfway through, and then
Exactly.
it delivers at the end. Like, and they
They're
do
very
it. It's
good.
like so tight and organic. It's just like how do they do this? You know,
Mhm.
how do they wrap it all together?
Right.
Yeah,
They're
like
super good at it, dude.
one of the things that I really enjoyed was we just watched the episode. We're still on season 1, but we just watched the episode where it was like the kid's birthday, Luke, or something like that.
Mhm.
And like there's so much like shit that is available to like the episode starts with them in the hospital and like Jay's freaking out. He's like, how could this have happened? Like, who let this happen? And like you're like, what the fuck's going on? It's like 3 days earlier. and it's like Luke's birthday party, and like Jay gets him a crossbow. Phil orders like a bunch of like extreme like climbing, like he orders like a rock wall and like a zip line and shit, and, like all these just dangerous activities. Um, he hires like zoo person to bring like fucking
Like a
snakes
petting zoo
and
and shit.
yeah,
Okay,
like
yeah, yeah.
snakes and like fucking like tarantula and shit. There's like all these things that could go wrong. So like the whole episode is leading up to like how do they end up in the hospital, and so like it presents you all these options as to like what might be the cause, and then it ended up just being like the dumbest, most bullshit thing. And it was like the wife's speech, like she was like had like a like arts and crafts station that they all shit on the entire episode. They're like, wow, this is shitty, and she was like so bummed out about it, and then like everything happens at once, and then like Luke runs and slips on a bead and like falls and breaks his arm. And so like everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like what happened? And like they're all trying to figure it out. And it just comes down to the beat. And I thought it was just, like such a great like build up for something so like mundane and stupid that like you wouldn't have expected.
Oh yeah, bro. Honestly, that show is super good. Um, the only character I didn't really like, um, was fucking Baby Joe.
I don't even know who that is yet.
Yeah, you're not there yet. I just didn't like. I don't know. I just didn't like. Um, I don't know. Yeah, his character's just. You'll see. You have a few seasons before.
For
Or
sure.
actually, you probably depending where you're at, you might have a lot of seasons before you get there.
Well, yeah, I'm only on season 1, so um Manny is the fucking man.
Manny's so good, dude.
I
Manny's
love
the
Yeah.
best.
Manny.
Manny's so good. And you know what's so good is that like he's written obviously to be like this awkward kid, but like they don't just the whole point of him, and I feel like in any other show, the whole point would just be to like shit on Manny and like talk about
But
how
like
weird
he's
he
so
is or whatever.
sincere that it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
so endearing and
but
like
he's like an
he's written so well because
yeah,
he's written as a very sincere kid
yeah, and
and
it's
he
so
has these funny
endearing and
moments.
like you just
Yeah.
like
he's like an old man.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I love his relationship with what's the sister's name? Claire,
Claire, yeah.
Phil's wife. And
Hmm.
he's always like, "Oh, my sister." And she's like,
Hmm.
"I'm fucking an adult."
She's
dude."
like, I'm 40, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's
um,
super funny.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I feel like all of their characters are so like sincere. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they're all so sincere. And like Jay is my favorite. I fucking love
Jay's
Jay.
great.
I love how he's
Jay's
just
whole
this like
progression is
old
amazing.
man that like
Yeah.
is like bah humbug, but always does the right thing.
Yeah.
And like always saves the day with no matter how much it like hurts him or whatever. Like
Well, I mean, I like that it's you see his progression, like you see like he does say the wrong thing. He might even think the wrong thing at the very beginning and hurts people's feelings and he does this and that, but like he almost always figures out a way to turn it around. And I like that he doesn't do it out of or even when he does, I guess, when he does it out of like self-absorption, it like very immediately gets like he gets shat on and like learns the error of his ways and he's like, fuck, dude, like, all right, yeah. And then when he ends up doing the right thing, he doesn't do it just to make himself feel better. He does it for like his kids or like his
Yeah,
grandkids or whoever it is.
yeah,
Like it's not just to be like, oh, I don't want to feel bad anymore. It's always like, well, I got to make this person feel better because I made them feel bad in the first place.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. He always, like I said, he always like figures it out and does the right thing or whatever. And I
Yeah,
really like that about
he's
him.
great. Also, I just love seeing Ed O'Neill in the show again.
yeah, totally.
I grew up
Also
watching
because like
reruns of the fucking
dude,
Married with Children.
Married with Children, hell yeah, I
Yeah.
love that show. I like that like he's not dopey. I think like when
Yeah.
Modern Family first came out, with like the few little exposure I had to it, I thought he was just gonna be like a dopey fucking old man character, and he's not.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I appreciated that about him. Same thing with like you said about Manny. I feel like Manny is in any other show would just be there to be like the comic relief,
The
or
butt of the
target.
joke, yeah.
Yeah, the butt of the joke. But he's like such a good kid that you like root for him.
And
I
like
feel that way about Jay too. Like he's kind of an asshole, but you always want him. Like he always does the right thing, so you end up kind of rooting for him.
well, and the cool thing about that is like, where you would have all these archetypes or these tropes where in any other show, they would just be the punchline all the time. They're all like that, so they all get to be the butt of the joke at different points, and it's never just focused on one character. Like when you get too many Haley jokes, then all of a sudden you see Alex being made fun of for being a nerd, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and then
Yeah.
there's Luke being made fun of for being dumb again too, and then Phil. And it's like what's cool is like they have, especially the adults, like the kids, I feel like they kind of let it go because they're young and they're kind of learning like to be adults. But all the adults have like their like dichotomy is like Phil's super oblivious and naive, but he's also amazing at his job and does so well that like his wife at the beginning of the show doesn't need to work. She can be a stay-at-home mom and they still have like a very successful, comfortable life, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Hey,
Sorry
so
about being late.
oh, there we go. Okay,
Let's
do it.
go.
Cool. Yeah, give me one second. All right. Cool. So let's head over to Palpius and Ebrath. What is the conversation like as you guys walk to the blacksmith?
Um, I would think there's, initial little silence. Like, what was your first weapon?
Say my first weapon was actually an old wooden club.
Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that? Or gave it to you?
It was given to me by my aunt.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. It's a good present, man. I feel like she knew you really well.
She fashioned it out of a log that had fallen in the forest.
That's cool. How old were you?
4.
Damn, you're 4. I mean, I don't know many things about. I guess I would know something about orcs, but yeah. I mean, that's cool. It's a great. Was it a birthday present, or she just handed it to you one day?
Just handed it to me one day and told me to smash.
Damn. Well, I mean, that's pretty dope, man.
Cool. And as you guys make your way over to the um, town center, kind of where they have this like bazaar kind of setup where there's lots of shops and booths and just stands where you could buy peculiarities. A bit of a farmer's market, a bit of a, well, I guess, yeah, like a farmer's market, where it's just a bunch of booths and one guy selling corn and another guy selling like homemade peanut butter. And then some other lady is selling like crystals that heal you. And
Oh yeah.
like you can kind of just shop around and find what you need. But this is where most business is being held in Leylon. And
Is
you
there a
hear,
is there a white guy with white hair who gives out popcorn to the little children?
oddly enough, there has been a person that fits that exact description roaming Leylon lately.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were gonna say, was there a dude with white hair, who's cabbage stand keeps getting fucking knocked over.
My cabbages.
My cabbages.
My cabbages.
How is he in the live action?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either. I don't think I'm
He
gonna
says
watch it for a
just
while.
that.
I'll
My
watch it.
cabbages.
I'll watch it eventually.
I'll watch it
I'm trying
eventually.
to I'm trying to sit down when Brianna has time to sit down and watch it with me. She just
Yeah.
hasn't. She's been rewatching Gilmore Girls, so fucking I got
Oh,
18
nice.
more days of that.
Yeah. We
I
just
hate that
we
show.
just binged all of Avatar and Korra
Nice.
like right before it came out. So I'm like, I'm okay with the break. You
Bro,
know,
I
before
just
go
got
back to
into
it.
a heated ass discussion with one of my porters at work because one of them, the younger one who's like into some of the same anime that I am, had just finished original Avatar and then was like taking a couple days off and then was gonna start Korra. And the other porter was like, "Don't watch it, it's fucking trash, blah blah blah." And
The
I was
best.
like, "Yo, you're fucking trash, dude. How about that?" I was like,
Korra's
"You're
so
fucking
cool.
I was like, I don't trust your opinion now that you said that. And he was like,
It's so
why is
good.
it better? Why is it better, bro? And I was like, dude, I got fucking and there was no one on the drive, so I was like getting loud. I was like, this fucking guy.
You would do
I
that.
was getting so fucking mad. I wanted to fucking slap him.
Real quick, Dave, how far are you guys into Korra?
Just a couple episodes, like I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes into the first season.
I think
It's
the last
good.
time we talked, you said that Bolin had gotten captured, and
Yeah, so I'm a little bit past that now, but not that much farther. They saved him, and what else happened? Couple other like minor things,
Cynthia,
nothing
have you ever
crazy.
seen Avatar or Korra or any of those?
I watched Avatar, not Korra.
Oh, I feel like you'd
The
be into
live action.
You watched the live action?
I did.
What about the
Damn.
cartoon?
I told you last time. I only watched like sporadically. I've never watched
Okay.
it from start to finish.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Why is Cynthia
okay.
so loud compared to everybody?
I feel you're the loudest compared to everybody.
I
feel
am?
Like, I feel like everyone's normal except for Andre. Andre's low.
I'm
Really?
low?
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And what I don't like about Zoom is you can't adjust people individually.
I was trying to do
Is
that
that better?
earlier too.
That's way
Oh
better.
yeah, way
annoying.
better.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know I was coming off loud.
That's okay.
You're
bad.
like a normal level for me. All right, cool. Yeah, you guys get to the blacksmith, and you see Brautora is hammering away at a piece of armor. She like takes a second to like wipe the sweat from her brow, as she like tightens the grip on her hammer, and you see that she's now working on the anvil, the magical anvil that was left behind by
Hell yeah.
What's her name? I forget.
That bitch
What?
we killed.
Yeah, that bitch you guys killed.
yeah.
Remember when you guys killed Bax, and then when his brother asked him about it, Dave lied to him?
Bro, I tried to say it multiple
He was
times. So did
like-
I did
Pablos.
not lie. No, I did not lie.
He did.
No,
I did
yeah, you
not.
did. Yes, you
No,
did.
I
You
didn't.
said last I
said-
heard.
I said
You said
he's
last
You
I heard he was
omitted.
doing real
You
good.
omitted the truth though.
Bro, you said
no,
last I heard.
No.
Last I heard he was doing great. That's what you said.
And
You're a little
that
delulu
was
right
the truth.
now.
No,
That's not-
I am not.
Bro,
I am
is
absolutely
dead
not.
great? Is
Oh,
dead
okay,
great?
remember his
hold
character
on,
thing, Andre?
Wait,
What?
yes.
Oh, that's
My
right.
character trait
Fucking
is
loopholes, bro.
specifically
Okay,
no, it's
but
not a
let me ask you
loophole.
something.
It
Let me ask you
specifically
something.
says,
Okay.
Yeah, but you
Voxel,
didn't
I think
answer
that the
directly,
dead
even
are
if
the
you
lucky
think
ones.
that.
Let me ask
All
you
right.
something.
Even if you
I did
think
answer
that, you
directly.
didn't answer directly.
Yes, I did.
Does
You
your
could've said we
your
killed him.
character trait your character trait bring him back to life?
No,
Then he's still dead. And
I
you didn't
never
tell
said
him
he
that.
wasn't. I didn't
You
say
said
he was
he's
dead.
doing great.
I sincerely believe that.
Bro, those are your last words to a
Whether
dying
you
man.
choose to interpret it
You lied to his
differently,
face.
no, I didn't.
Lied to his fucking face.
I
You
did not
believe
lie to
that.
his face.
This is
Gaslighter,
true. You
bro.
believe
That's
that.
true. That's
Gaslighter.
But you
fine.
know he's dead and you didn't tell him.
And I didn't need to. I did not
That's
lie.
okay.
I didn't lie.
Cool.
So you guys can make of it what you will.
As we
But
did
I
just
didn't
now.
lie. I didn't lie.
We literally just did.
Okay,
Damn.
because you don't choose to embrace your character traits. That's not on me. That's on you.
She does.
She does. She thieves from everybody, bro.
Still lied, bro.
It was
You
it was
don't
actually
even know how much money I have
What
right
are-
now.
it was
your
actually a
character
pretty big point of
What are your
contention
character
between
traits?
my last character and her. Remember?
What are your character traits?
Anyway, let's move on.
You thieving ass
You guys are
Khajiit.
at the blacksmith. What are you guys doing?
So I'm gonna before she notices me, I wanna like take off like my coat and like roll up like my tunic like sleeves so I can like just get into work and like pull up a little stool next to her and be like, all right, what do you need? What do you need? What we got?
And she says, well, we still got, 5 of these armor sets we gotta get going for the military. We have some swords that need mending. And then she goes, oh, Ebrath, I didn't even realize that was you. How have you
Oh
been?
yeah, I'm great. I'd love to help you out and get to work. I mean, I'm not much for swinging a hammer, but I brought someone who should be pretty easy for. And I'll point over
So,
to
He's been
big
eating
ass
since he's
Palpius
4.
behind me.
just so you know, Palpius, Breltora is a half, or is she? No, she's an orc. She's a full orc. Um,
Is she? I thought
and,
she was a half.
I thought she was
Half
full,
for
but
full.
let me confirm.
She's as thick as a fool, though, you know?
Is she like that bullshit orc in Warcraft the movie? The one that's literally just a girl painted green?
No.
Yeah, with like long
That was so
colmillos.
whack, bro.
That's it.
Because you
Yeah.
see the other like female orcs, and you're like, oh, that's cool. That looks like a female orc. And then she's like, I'm a runt. They all hated me. Oh, because you're just a fine ass bitch in green? Yeah, I would have killed your ass too.
Are you
If
talking about the
everyone
D&D movie?
everyone on their planet looked like an orc and she looked like her, 100% she would have been dead.
Oh wait, what movie are you talking about? The WoW movie?
Yeah, the WoW
Yeah, the
movie.
Yeah,
Warcraft.
Oh, I
because
never
I've been
she's
saw it.
trying
half
to,
orc,
dude, I've
half
been trying
human
to,
in the
yeah,
movie.
right. I know you find it out later or whatever. Fucking stupid ass Medivh.
In the
Also, great
original,
villain. Great villain.
she's half Draenei, half orc.
That makes more sense.
Ooh,
That makes a
okay.
lot more sense.
I
That
do.
would
I,
look
I
cool.
love.
Because they're actually related, like physiologically, that makes more sense than human and orc in that world.
I love so much that like Julio is just this like encyclopedia of Warcraft knowledge.
Oh, he's so
Bro, the
knowledgeable
lore's the
there.
best.
I used to
It's
like
Pretty
fucking
text him
good.
randomly when I would be like talking to people about Warcraft. I'd be like, hold on, let me find out. And I'd be like, hey Julio, what's the thing? And he'd be like, oh, it's this. And I'm like, cool,
He knows
thanks.
the things.
bro, the
Yeah.
lore is so sick.
Um yeah, totally. I actually do like the lore of Warcraft. I never really played it, but
But the movie's kind of rough. Like
I mean
visually it's amazing,
the D and
but
D
I've been
movie
trying to
wasn't
watch it
great,
for like a week.
but you get
D&D
through it.
movie was great.
It was all right.
I liked it a lot.
It was funny
It was
though. It was
campy in a
enjoyable.
fun
It was
way.
It was super
entertaining.
funny. It was super funny. It reminded me of like an actual campaign. Like like all over the place. People had their like weird um like origins and shit. They really stuck to it.
It's weird. It's like I don't know, and maybe this is just me being weird, but I feel like the things that I enjoy about it are also the things that I don't enjoy about it. Um, I like that it wasn't like a D&D origin story.
Yeah,
Um, that was cool. I hate having to
that'd
go
be
through all
boring.
these origin stories, but at the same time, I felt like when my mom watched it and she was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, what is any of this? And I'm just like, it's just D&D, you know? It's just like, all right, there's a bird guy, like,
Well, I
uh,
think I think part of what people confuse about it when they come into the first, like, just think of it as any other fantasy franchise,
yeah,
Like
totally,
people are
totally.
like, "Oh, it's D&D." I automatically am confused as to what's going on. You'd be
Yeah.
confused if you never saw Star Wars for the first time, you'd be asking the same questions.
Yeah, I think the thing with D&D is that like people know that it's like a game, and
Yeah.
so like everybody that I talk to about it is like, oh hey, you play D&D, like do you do this in the movie, or like in the movie they did this, like is that what you guys do, or like my mom kept asking like questions about D&D the game while
Mm.
watching the movie, and I was like, I feel like that's taking away from it, like
Yeah. Yeah, I
um
mean, I could see that. Brianna doesn't care, so she just watched it and was like, "Damn, this is pretty good." I was like, "Hell yeah."
yeah. And yeah, like if you go into it with it being just a fantasy thing, then you're right, it's dope. But yeah, and then like I don't know, it was campy in a fun way, but I also felt like I couldn't take it too seriously the entire time. Which I just have a hard time with like silly things like that.
Yeah, it took
Um,
you forever to get into One Punch Man, like 10 years.
yeah, yeah, totally. I think it took me like realizing that it's like supposed to be just like a parody of like anime for
Yeah,
me to like get behind it. But yeah. Uh, so Braltora is a half orc.
got it. Cool.
Her name is Braltora Redeye.
Because she constantly smoking that herb.
No, she has normal eyes. I don't know how they call it red eye. But,
Has normal eyes.
yeah.
She's
And
got
so,
specialized.
uh,
She's got a
Bro-
showering on. That's why she's called Bratora Red
She's
Eye.
um,
Fuck, that'd be so funny. She's the final boss.
damn, that'd be cool. Dude, I want to rewatch Naruto kind of.
I need to
But-
get Julian back into it so I could have an excuse to watch it.
He's ever finished it?
Nah, he's a bitch.
Oh, what a bitch, dude.
I hope he's
Um,
watching the stream. You
it's
heard that?
It's probably not. But
He's not. He's getting drunk with my cousin there in Big Bear.
yeah, so, um, yeah, Baltora will look over at you, Palpius, and kind of just, take notice that you are also a half orc, and she'll kind of just give you like a curt nod, and she'll say, "Well, he looks big enough to swing a hammer."
Wait, is
Hug-
Papias only a half orc?
Yeah,
Sir.
He's half
Which-
night elf or something, or half a drow.
no, that was
Damn.
Ragongar.
Yeah, Ragongar
No,
was
that's him
half
too.
was
That's
half drow,
Papias
half
too. Isn't
they
it
both
Papias
the
too?
same mix?
I don't think
I
so.
think so.
They brothers?
What's your other half, Papias?
Give me a high five.
Human.
What?
Yeah, so he's human.
Just half human, half
Oh.
orc.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay.
Never mind then.
Oh,
I thought
I
your
know, bro.
your skin was
Sounded
purple.
so
dude, like
disappointed.
that. It almost sounded like that, you know.
Instant
Brother.
His
judge.
skin should
Isn't
be
your
purple
skin
and
purple?
not be drow.
He said
Isn't your skin
human,
purple?
and he just gave him the ick.
Yes,
Your
Not-
skin's
not
not
all-
purple? Sal?
yes, it is.
Skin is purple.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay. Because that's not an orc thing.
it is. In D&D, it is.
Orcs are purple?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
They come in all sorts of colors in D&D. I think orcs being green is more of a like. Wow.
Well, no, I thought like red was a more. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Right,
even if you look up
so-
like the orc stat block, this was purple as fuck.
So you're half human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I post
seem
pictures on the
disappointed.
Zoom chat?
I am disappointed
Why?
because it's boring.
Oh, okay, la chingada. Well, next time I'll be a pet rock with the pet worm to go along with it.
Please do. Please do. That'd be way cooler.
11, make wish.
Eat. Okay. So what does Bratora say?
She says, oh, well, he's certainly big enough to swing a hammer, but is he any good with it?
I mean, I haven't seen him use a hammer, but I haven't seen him kill a bunch of things with that axe.
And she'll say, well, if you guys are willing to put in the work, I'll take the help. And she
Yeah,
says,
what do you- Sorry,
what's-
go ahead.
Want
This
me
big
to do
guy
an
got a name?
athletics check or what?
she says, "This big guy got a name, or is he just stand there and look cute all the time?"
Hey, I know your husband.
She goes, "What?
What?
I can't compliment a man on his looks."
Look over at Bubbles and be like, I mean, yeah, I could see it. Anyway, you want to
She
introduce
goes,
yourself, big
listen,
man?
she goes, "Listen, Ebrath." She goes, "See all these trees out here? Look at all these beautiful trees.
Uh-huh.
I love looking at the trees, taking in all their beauty. I don't go climb all of them.
Solid point.
Look
I've,
at,
you know, I've
look at
never
Sal
really
getting all
felt the
bashful
urge
down there.
myself, so.
A little eye
Um,
candy.
But yeah, anyway, you want to introduce yourself, big man?
Yeah. You want me to roll like a strength test? Check.
Sure, yeah. Give me a strength check or athletics check.
Athletics, yeah.
Can I help him out?
How?
I'm gonna
You
be like,
can.
I'm just gonna hype him and be like, dude, you're strong as fuck, man. I saw you kill so many bad guys.
What's your
26.
persuasion modifier?
-1.
No, mom.
So what did you get, Palpius?
26.
You got a 25. But,
Gee, thanks.
Despite Ebrath's rambling, you are just how to swing a hammer. It's even just talking about your first club that you received when you were a little boy. you just went back to smashing bugs in the forest with your club. Um,
Oh, I didn't smash bugs to begin with, bro.
well, I don't know what you smashed, but um, you've swung a hammer many times, enough to do so with full confidence, and you hit it right on the money. And Breltora kind of smirks and her one little like tooth jutting out and goes, "All right, so he's not just looks. It looks like he's got some brawn as well. I think we'll get along just fine."
Or snaggletooth.
Yeah, and she kind of gives you a wink. "Hmm."
All right, Braltor, you need some help with this anvil, maybe tuning it. I can. Where'd you leave my notes?
And she says, the notes. Is that all that stuff on paper, whatever?"
Yeah, remember I left you a copy of my notes?
Yeah, I'd see, like, reading isn't like my favorite thing. I tried to look at it a bunch, but it was like a lot of math, and that's just, you know,
So then how
there's.
have you been going around enchanting this anvil?
Oh well, I just, as I'm hammering away on it, sometimes the vibrations of the hammer strike seem to reverberate in myself, and I just focus on that feeling, and
Man,
sometimes it matches and sometimes it doesn't, and I just hit it a different way until it feels right.
it's gonna take you forever to do it that way. If you just fall, it's fine. It's fine. Have my journal here. Let me just gonna stand there,
And
fucking
she kind
find
of
a
like
little spot.
roughly like hits you on the back, like to pat you on the back, but it's kind of like a little bit too hard.
I just
And she
fall off
goes,
the fucking stool.
"I'm glad you're back."
Yeah, me too. So I'm gonna climb back up on the stool and look through my notes and basically just try and find notes to supplement her and speed along the process of like attuning or I guess reattuning this anvil to her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say with time, you would be able to, take the time you need to do so, and work alongside her, and help increase the production. She is currently working on mending a lot of the armor for the military, and just
Got it.
it seems to be more of a demand for that than in the past, and so she can take whatever help she can get. Getting this army back up in tip top shape as far as their equipment goes, at the very least.
Definitely. I will also what did I have? I will give over a set of half plate that I had. Just help out in her efforts. A dagger and let's see. A dagger and a hammer to be used however she would like.
Cool. Yeah, she would definitely be able to use that, and she'll say, given the state of things with the local military, they need all the help they can get. Their men are coming back less and less frequently, and the ones that do are beat up pretty bad. We're pretty worse for wear. We've had a boom in repairs as of late, and being that I'm kind of the only blacksmith in town, it's been quite the load to bear. Um, we'll take whatever help we can get at this point.
Well, I mean, good thing we came in when we did. I'll help you however I can. So how long does it take? And throughout the course of the day, am I able to help her attune
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
that
would
anvil?
say,
Okay.
depending on how long you want to spend, you would be able to, work on it at your leisure. Um,
Yeah,
Definitely
I
something
would
you could do
say
over time as well.
I would say a good part of the day. Also, especially because I know that um, as our kind of agreement, she needs that anvil completely enchanted before she can start making magical items herself, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Um, quick question. Gone, you are still wearing the enchanted armor, right? Or are you no longer wearing that?
I am wearing it.
Okay, cool. Just trying to do some housekeeping on my infusions. Okay. Then I'm trying to see how I can do this. I want to remove. So I had a set of armor in my inventory that I was using as a placeholder for my infusion for him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to remove it, but I want to make sure it doesn't. I'm not going to be able to remove it from my inventory without removing the infusion.
What are you trying to do?
So I've have this as a placeholder so I know that my infusion's being used. I had a set of half plate armor in my bag of holding. But I was wanting to, it was a legit plate, like pair, I had a set of half plate that I took at some
Mhm.
point, and I was just using it as a placeholder for my infusion, just so I could see when I'm looking through my infusions that it's being used. Um, but I wanted to give over that set of armor and also free up some weight in my bag of holding. I guess I can just make note that that's one of my third infusion.
Um, Hold on. Your third infusion is this the one for Gone or
Yeah, it's one for gone.
got it? Okay. What are your other two infusions?
Bag of holding and then my new spell ring of recharging.
Got it. Okay.
I got rid of the sending stones.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, as long as Gone's wearing it, you just keep it checked off or whatever.
Yeah. So you
Um,
still just make sure you have it set as what it needs to be, and I will add an okay, I'm just gonna add a note here. Okay, cool. Um yeah, I want to definitely help her out until that thing's up and running.
cool. Yeah, and she'll just thank you for your service, and she'll joke around with you. She'll crack some jokes at Palpius. And again, she'll just kind of let you know that yeah, that things have just been kind of crazy since you guys have been gone. Jessup keeps talking about a band of brigands that are attacking people on the high road, um, and just the absolute menace that it's become for the local military on their patrols. Um, just having to repair their armor constantly, repair broken like axes and swords. It's just become a nonstop thing for them, and she's really just been overworked because of it. So she appreciates you.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, dude. I'm sorry.
And she goes, "Oh well, they keep getting these wimps to be, in the military. There's nobody
Oh yeah.
has the grit needed to get the job done anymore.
I mean, your husband's pretty cool.
And she goes, don't get me wrong, he's good on the eyes, but
He's got heart.
he yes, he does, to say the very least. He believes what he believes very, very strongly. And she goes, but it's an endearing charm of his.
Rotor, let me tell you one thing. I've been around a long time, a lot longer than it looks like I've been.
She goes, no, you look pretty old.
What? Do
Huh?
I?
Well, I mean, your hair's white.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of rock gnomes with. Anyway, it's fine. Uh, I'll take, one man like your husband by my side in a fight, than 10 cocky motherfuckers like the guys that man the wall.
She goes, well, I'll tell you what, you can have him. I've seen him fight. I'll
He's
take
all.
my
I mean,
chances on my own.
I don't know if I've seen him fight. He was captured when we met, so
My point exactly.
I mean, he wasn't dead though. The other guys were
Jeez.
dead.
True.
He's
Well,
not
anyway.
dead. He's just doing great.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good joke. It's an inside joke. And then actually, I'll spend an hour explaining why that joke's funny throughout the day.
She's like, I don't understand. If he's dead, how is he great?
Anyway, so
love
we
that.
have this buddy. You've met him actually, and then it'll fade out to like.
Yeah.
With just Ebrat just droning on and on about
As we're working,
details.
I'm making
Yeah.
magic.
And I'll say, as the day passes, you guys most likely end up back either at your headquarters or maybe at the bar for a drink. What's everybody doing?
I'll go back to the bar hopefully to meet up with people, especially because I think I do have something of note to speak to Tybalt and Box about.
And then Jinx and Gon, you guys had gone to go explore and check in on Frogwarts. Tell us what that entails. What do you guys do?
So we headed to Frogwarts. Gonna accompany me, and we get there, and let's see. I approach the headmaster.
What's his name?
Freaking
I know you put in the notes. I just forgot.
freaking Dumbledore. And Dumbledore is the one who sent me the letter earlier.
Mhm.
And it was essentially a progress report of the status of the students, how they're doing, who's progressing, how they're doing. We have some kids leveling up essentially to the next tier who are now mentoring younger children and giving room for more classes for more kids to come into the school. He also lets me know that is under the school there is some secret chambers that kind of vastly grow underneath without being seen or undetected above for the safety of the children. This is where their sleeping quarters are now. Um, uh, and he's just going on and on about how they have evolved as a school and their progress individually. He tells me that he has identified particular traits for certain students, so he's now grouping them according to those traits. And he has grouped all the stealthy children in the Dark Thieves group, and he decided to call them the Salamanders. He put all the empaths, which like to gather the herbs and heal, and he called those the Jigglypuffs. All the very intellectual students have an incline for wizardry, and he called them the Ravens. And all the brave fighters, he dubbed the Griffins. And thus their sleeping quarters underneath the school are now divided as such and is ever growing. And he has selected his top students. They're all brothers and sisters, orphan brothers and sisters. On all these red-headed children with the last name of the Weasels. And so these Weasels are basically his right hand students who are now the mentors for a lot of the younglings. And so that's all the stuff he was telling me. He just gave a brief summary in the letter he sent me. And he said that he would like to be updating me with more of the progression of the school and the students. And thus I'm explaining to Gon all of this as it's happening and showing us around. And No one's really allowed downstairs besides the students and the teachers, but we get access, of course. So we got to see it all, and that's us checking in. Um, I
Um,
want, yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Gone, as you are touring the facilities with Jinx, you have flashbacks of your own childhood, and you think back to the strict and like rigorous lessons that you were put in as a young child. You know, being a um, what's your last name? Sorry, Terrellian. Sorry. Um, being a Terrellian, you know, your parents had certain expectations for you academically, as well as just in life. You know, you had to attend a lot of strict, um, like etiquette classes on like how to behave, or you know, around guests and what you know, what's polite, what's impolite, what's correct, what's incorrect. You remember the strict teachers that would smack your hands with a like ruler if you were distracted in class, or you know, not performing up to their standards. Um, you remember the gaze of your father and mother as they would watch on from a distance, um, never once smiling in your direction, always pensive. But as you walk around these halls with Jinx, you don't see any of that here. The halls are filled with laughter, you know, the laughter of children, the footsteps of kids running up and down, playing with each other. Um, you see the adults, the teachers of the school, um, laughing alongside the kids, and giving them praise. You know, you see one of the girls that's one of the one of the girls there is you know, giving one of the kids like a high five and telling them how great of a job that they did. You know, the like swords master kind of guy, the guy that does all of the like melee training. He is very stern in the commands that he gives, but he's also very reaffirming when he does that, and is very uplifting. And how does like how does Gon feel about all of this?
So yeah, thoughts rushing through Gon's mind. Not very good thoughts, but he's quickly snapped out of it with the passing of some children, you know, running along, chasing each other, headed to their next lecture, whatever it may be. But yeah, just seeing the students essentially, you know, learning what I was learning at their age, but in a different environment with a different setting. Um, kind of um renews the hope that renews Gon's hope of building a better place for um pretty much just civilizations wherever he may go. Um, and so if Jinx is nearby, I would probably turn to her and say, Jinx, this is great. This is a lot of I didn't know you were doing all this. Wow, yeah, I'm quite surprised.
Jinx bows and says, "Thank you very much. I appreciate my journey with our, sorry for the lack of a better word that's not popping in my head. I'm gonna call it squad. Um, and a lot of things that I may be a little bit sneaky about. I'm not just pocketing it for myself. Anything and everything I can, I do for this academy and these children, to forge a better future, for them and the town alike. I think that this can grow. I think that this could be something one day, and hopefully it does. But the real work here is the children and the teachers that do all the training. But these kids are eager and able and willing to learn, and to them I tip my hat, because they could have easily gone in a darker path, an easier, um, evil is afoot all the time, and it's really easy to fall in those traps, especially at such a young age as I did. So thank you, and hopefully we can see this bloom.
Yeah, no, I agree. These kids have a lot of potential. I can see it just from the attitudes that they reflect of, um, from this moment. But I think that also reflects of this place and, like you said, the instructors here. So yeah, big and I had a few of the what do you call them? A few of my family's home staff who would say, big ups for what you do. And yeah, the biggest of ups to you.
Thank you. The biggest of ups right back to you.
As you guys are finishing this conversation, a little girl will run up to you. She's got this big, wide brimmed, pointy hat that's easily 5 sizes too large for her. It kind of like envelops her. She's got just the most like little petite little black cloak kind of around her, as she has a picture book, that she's clutching in her hands, and she'll say, um, "Miss Jinx, who's your friend?"
Ah, my friend here, you haven't heard of the great Gontarellian?
And her eyes will go big, and she's like, "No, I haven't." And she says, "Do you do magic, Mister?"
And I look at her and kind of grin a little bit and say, I of sorts, I guess you could say. And without skipping a beat, I cast a mage hand and give her a little cast it behind her and do a little tap on her shoulder.
And she'll turn around, and nothing will be there. And she'll be like, "That's strange. I thought." She's like, "Oh, this is way too big." And she's like struggling with like the floppiness of the hat. And she's like, "I swore somebody tapped me on the shoulder."
And I do it one more time, but this time I lift her hat up and bring the hat towards my actual hand.
And she'll just look up in amazement and wonder and be like, "Wow, that's so cool. How did you do that?"
And I kneel down and give her back her hat and say, lots and lots of practice and lots of learning. If you want to do what I do, just make sure you listen to your instructors, all right?
And she
Dog,
says,
And
you're
"Oh,
fucking lying to these kids.
what do you mean?
roll a
You're,
deception check."
you're a fucking warlock.
I
That's kind of
just used mage hand as an example.
a, don't worry, I was
That's
getting there.
also
That's a good.
that's
I was
That's a good
also
point. That's a good
I was
point.
getting
that's
I was
also why
getting
I
there.
said to
I
listen
was
to your
getting there.
instructors. I'm not trying to have these kids turn into warlocks.
You just fucking Eldritch Blast one of them.
I was getting there. I was getting there. What I
Repelling
was gonna
blast.
say is, she seeing that, she'll hold up her like picture book, and the cover is like a not crudely drawn, but just kind of not much detail in it. Just a young um, witch, casting a spell with her wand, and magic coming out of it. And she'll say, "I have my pit." She says, "This is my wizard book here. It has all my spells." And as she flips through it, they're just like picture book versions of like spells.
Mhm.
There's like prestidigitation, and it's like somebody like doing like making lights or something, and then just a bunch of different cantrips. So she's a small child, so she's not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
high level things. And she says, "How come you don't do?" She goes, "How come you don't have to read your spells out of a book like all of us?"
And I say, well, let's just say I've been studying for a lot longer than it looks like.
She goes, "Man, you must be so strong."
And I say, well, an individual can be strong, but it's when we're among friends and comrades when we're at our strongest. Never forget that.
She goes, "I have a friend that's so strong he can pick up the biggest rocks."
Really? Yeah, he does sound strong. Then you definitely want him on your side. And I look at Jinx and say, I'd say we could use a comrade like that ourselves, huh?
I nod
And
and agree, and then also just give Gon a little wink for being so gracious to little what's her name?
Her name's, she says, "My name's Tamia."
Aw, little Tamia. Yeah, for little Tamia. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
She goes, "Tamia Riddle."
Ah,
Uh-oh.
okay. Okay, Tamia, let me just look at your journal real quick. Go off. I think I,
She
I
goes, "I
think
gotta go play."
okay, bye.
She goes, "Do you guys like snakes?"
Just fucking
Uh,
Eldritch Blaster, bro.
and
Probably
uh
blast
and
her
I
ass
say
into a wall.
I say not snakes, but you know what? I heard Jinx is a big fan of spiders.
And she
no.
goes, "Ooh, spiders are crazy."
And best behave. I heard that there's a forest out there full of them. Ginormous ones.
She goes, little Stevie the other day had a really bad dream, and he said that he kept seeing skeletons and zombies coming out of the forest." She goes, "That doesn't exist in real life, does it?"
Uh, not.
That sounds odd,
Yeah,
but
and
regardless,
he said that it's real close to town, and that they're all coming out of the forest, and there was like a lot of them. And I just I like trees so much, but like I don't want to go if there's scary zombies.
and I'll once again kind of just uh kneel down next to her, put a hand on her shoulder, and look directly at her and say, "Well, it's a good thing that it was just a dream. It's a scary one, but you know what? With Jinx and myself and the friends that we have who are nearby, whatever comes at us, we'll protect you guys." And
He goes, "Have you guys
like
ever
I
seen a dragon?"
and with that, I'll say you are a very curious one, and that will help you very much to become a very powerful individual. But more than anything, don't forget what I told you earlier. You're at your strongest when.
We're with our comrades.
There you go.
Yay!
All right, now you go.
Comrades.
She's like, she gets like, I don't know, what is it called? A sickle and a, what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
fucking
crosses it. Oh, oh.
She goes, "You mean this is our books?"
He
yeah.
starts like skipping along. You just hear, "Sikablia!"
Run along now. I
And
think
she'll
Damn.
class is
skip
starting.
along. And whistle a
Um,
tune.
what did you say her name was again? Sorry.
Tamia
Tamia.
Riddle.
Riddle.
Fuck.
Okay. Oh my god.
Canon now. It's canon.
Yeah, I wrote it down. Okay.
Cool. I'll say that as you guys wrap up here at Frogworks, Gon, you hear the voice of Ravi in the back of your head. And in his low and raspy whisper that you're so accustomed to listening to, he says, "Be careful, Gon. You know how things like this end up for you. I wouldn't get too close. You remember what happened last time."
Damn, bitch, aren't you on his side?
Um, I feel like at this point we guys all probably meet up at some point, right?
Yeah, we circle back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Circle. Why doesn't anybody ever square back?
Because there's too many right angles.
Yeah, true.
Circle
Nobody
would be
wants to
the
be a
most direct.
square.
Yeah,
You square up, bro.
yeah.
That's a good point.
L7 we.
uh, just quick question while it's still fresh in my mind. Could I have caught any of the dragon talk from Tibble and Vox by the time I caught up to them in the afternoon?
No, I would say that was probably concurrent with like your time spent at the uh
Damn
blacksmith.
it. All right.
I mean, unless they want to bring it back up when you guys all meet up. I mean, that's up to them.
Well, yeah, because I would be like, yo, what did you guys learn? Because I'll walk in.
Well,
Obviously
why don't
fucked
you
up.
ask them?
Okay.
Well, where are we meeting up?
I'm trying to meet you guys up at the inn because I figure that's one, it's on my way between me and out of town.
Yeah, we
Or
all
coming
go
out.
to the inn to like grab a drink and
Yeah, it's like
gather up
late
before we go
afternoon.
home. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
late afternoon.
Alion will have a table for you guys kind of in the back corner, set aside from the rest of the tavern. There
I mean, not to drag this out more, but before, like, it seems like there would have been a time lapse there. I would have gone to talk to Private Jessup and or Griselda again, not to prolong anything more. I know we've been in town for like 3 hours.
Yeah, totally. And I
Um,
think that's something that we can probably do together with the rest of the party.
okay.
I just want to give everybody their time to do whatever little side quest things they guys wanted to do, but
Well, I mean,
I
that
think
will,
Griselda is like a group chat for sure.
okay.
So I'll
Um,
walk in just kind of like fucked up with like soot and shit, and like all blackened and stuff, and like have like my little fucking tiny coat over my shoulder. And
what about Pupius?
I'm sure he's fucked up too if he's still awake.
I'm awake.
Bitch,
Are you
you forgot
also
to call
all
him a
dirty and
bitch.
shit?
Huh?
Are you also all dirty and shit?
Oh
Obviously.
yeah. Loving it.
See?
Did you see the new maps, Edgar? They have new starter set maps. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Um, yeah, so you guys meet up at the tavern. Alion has a round of drinks and some like chicken available. A couple different soup options. There's a relatively busy night. Tavern's probably about like 70% capacity. There is a bard who is kind of set up in the corner, playing a lute and singing a song of random tales, from the Sword Coast. Um, what is everybody doing?
So I'm gonna walk up to Tybalt and Vox Haslin and say, all right, so good news on the Breltora front. Um, I helped her get that anvil up and running, so she'll officially be able to start crafting um, much higher caliber magical items pretty much
That's
immediately.
isn't that what we thought last time though?
No, we knew after speaking with her that she needed a much more powerful focus, which was the anvil.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just feel like
it wasn't
there's
set up for
not.
you last time you guys were here.
Yeah,
It was still at the Wayside Inn,
yeah.
and it was being
She
brought
needed
to town.
weeks. Yeah, she needed weeks to not only transport it, but also attune it to herself, since it was attuned to Homegirl before.
So what are you expecting from her?
I mean, I haven't had much time to really talk to her about it, but she could potentially be really helpful in my further research, but also crafting better weapons. You know, she was able to craft your new weapon um, or weapons. And I mean, I'm assuming she could do the same thing for any one of us that needed it, as well as hopefully much more. So, um, I'm pretty hopeful. And I mean, and she seems to like us quite a bit, so I don't anticipate her cooperation with us being a problem. What have you guys been up to?
Well, we've learned that we need to talk to Private Jessup and or Griselda, probably both.
About what?
We made a little bit of progress in terms of the dragons, but honestly, not a lot.
I wouldn't necessarily know what they're talking about, right? Because I didn't know about
Yeah, you wouldn't have been there for that
like what are you
conversation.
talking about? What dragons?
Well, we've previously learned about Gnawbones living in the Crypt Garden Forest, but
Right.
it seems like it's possible that Gnawbones has ventured out and has killed and or abducted some merchants and people along the trail. Um,
The
normally, Gnawbones stays in the Crypt Garden Forest, but it seems like they have started venturing out.
wait. Hold on. We're talking like the road between Leylon and Phandalin?
It goes all the way
Yeah,
down to Waterdeep. Yeah,
Leylon and Waterdeep.
it goes from
No,
Neverwinter all the way down to Waterdeep.
there we when we first got to Leylon, there were stories on that board there were stories about a bronze dragon in the area, not Gnawbones, that was traveling some between Leylon and Phandalin. I think we're looking for a different dragon.
It's possible. We know that
Because Gnawbones is ancient.
Gnawbones seems to have been spotted between Leylon and Waterdeep.
Okay.
We don't know a lot. We need to talk to Private Jessup and Griselda before we really have any more answers there. But
Okay.
there's not a lot more revelations on our front.
Would Tybalt have mentioned his dream or premonition or whatever as I'm asking this?
Yeah, I saw this morning in the vision the bronze dragon.
Oh, okay. So then we're not talking about Gnawbones. We're talking about this other potentially younger dragon that's been in this area. Okay. I'm just gonna be like, whew,
It was
that's a relief.
well, the dragon seemed the dragon was asleep but seemed worried
Worried.
worried about something, and not much worries a dragon, so that's concerning.
Ronnie, can I try and recall any bronze dragons from the area of note to try and come up with a name?
Yeah, give me a history check.
And I'm gonna add my trait as well. That's gonna be a 20.
Okay, yeah, you definitely recall that there is a bronze dragon that is kind of local legend of sorts. In the past, they were considered they were called the Claws of the Coast, um, and this dragon was a bronze dragon that kind of surveyed the skies and kept an eye on uh, the ocean, to the west of you that
Mhm.
spans the length of the Sword Coast, and would work with certain ships to as like sort of protection,
Mhm.
making sure fending off pirates, any
Right.
sort of evils that would come and threaten her. What's the word I'm looking for? Not range, but like
Territory?
territory. Yeah, thank you. Um, she was kind of the protector of her territory. She
Right.
hasn't stories go that she kind of disappeared some time ago and hasn't been seen. But
Got it.
she was well known throughout the throughout the lands.
Okay, so I'll kind of relay some of that and like, okay, so I don't know why I didn't put this together when we were first here, but um there was supposed to be a bronze dragon that made this area her home called the Claws of the Coast. Um, Tybalt, you're sure it was a bronze dragon?
It was of reddish color,
Bronze
metallic.
dragon, yeah, for sure.
It was a
Mhm,
bronze dragon.
mhm.
Okay. Well, I don't see. Hmm. If you definitely saw a bronze dragon, it's way less likely that the bronze dragon is responsible for assailing merchants and stuff along this highway, unless it's for good reason. Bronze dragons are typically um fairly altruistic as far as dragons go. Especially, I mean, metallic dragons in general um are not like their chromatic counterparts. So maybe it would stand to reason then that that bronze dragon, if she's still alive, she might be worried about what's happening to her coast.
I think before we make any assumptions, we should talk to Private Jessup.
Sure, I'm just saying. I mean, I know a bit about the subject, so at least that gives us some information.
So the question now is, do we go to Private Jessup or do we go to Griselda first? We need to talk to both.
Sure.
And
But
while all
if we
this is
split
going
up,
down, what about Jinx and Gon and Palpius? What are you guys doing?
I'll say maybe we should split up so we can speak to both. And then circle back at our headquarters.
I mean, we could. What do you guys think?
Did you guys need to speak to both, or how does that sound?
Yeah, no, we can I mean, that's probably something that's gonna I'm assuming that's not something we're gonna be doing this session, right?
Probably not, but
Yeah.
um,
I mean, if we're gonna save it for next session, we can just do both next session and have the whole group for everybody. I think it's best to, if we're trying to really get information out of people, it's probably best that we have Gone with us. But either way, I'm open to whatever.
I mean, if we want to be certain that we're asking the right questions, I guess it is best if we're all together,
Yeah.
just in case one of us has, and anything come to mind even at the last second. But as far as who to speak to first, I guess I'll leave that up to you guys in this situation. There's not many deciding factors that I consider advantages or disadvantages as far as right now. So yeah, what do you guys think?
I'll say that at this
Start with
point, Alion kind of comes up and says, "Is there anything I can get for you all? Drinks, food, please. Don't hesitate to ask." He says, "I see you have a few new friends here. It's good to see you all back together. It's been a bit of a struggle to keep the wanted posters down, but we do what we can. We don't allow people to put those up around, at least not around my town. I keep them away. But
Excuse
I'd
me.
be careful heading, anywhere outside of along the high road. You're a very popular person, Gontrell.
Understood.
I mean, worst case scenario, we have ways of disguising you, Gone.
Yeah, but with all these stories coming out about the high road, all these brigands and the undead and dragons, I wouldn't go in that direction. If it were up to me, I'd stay right where I am.
Yes, well,
What like time of the day is it at this point?
It's like evening. It's probably like 5 or 6 in the evening. Sun's kind of setting. Everyone's kind of
Okay.
coming in from their daily jobs and getting dinner and having a couple drinks after work, sort of deal.
Elion, I think we could use some food, and a round of drinks here. And appreciate you checking in. And I'll almost say it kind of dismissively. Like we need time to talk.
And he says,
And
"Oh, of
after
course,
I
I'll get some a round out this way and give you guys the picture just to keep you entertained."
thank
And
you
I
so
say
much.
from the back, like I just like pop my head out. Can I have a cup of your best warm goat's milk, frothy, not
And he
shaken?
says, he says, "Miss Jinx, you are a connoisseur of milk. I have the best goat's milk all the way from Fandolin. These are some giant goats that have been traveled back and forth. There's a small little goat herder that's not unlike your friend here. Very, very funny. Big hats.
But Elion, is the milk extra thick?
Uh,
Uh, uh, Vox Saslin, it would bring all the boys to the yard if I must do say so myself.
Wait, can you repeat that again? I didn't hear you wrong.
He says it would bring all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
wow.
Um,
Jesus.
and with
He says,
that,
I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Oh my god.
Goddamn.
with that, and uh, sorry, small detour here. Um, with that, once
The what were there?
Elion is what?
You said the what's there?
Quick detour
Oh,
there.
gotcha.
Once Elion, is taking our order or whatever and starts to kind of venture away, because I like, as much as I want to divulge to Elion and like as fluid as the communication has been, I get the sense there's like a little bit of like gossipy nature there. He is like total Ronnie with the cheese. Um
Damn.
Close your
uh
mouth, Ronnie.
Dang, you just offended him.
Ronnie's got the cheese, bro. Um
Bro, I hope you're not
no,
lactose
no, I'm
intolerant because
kidding.
I got some
I'm kidding.
cheese, man.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
know,
god.
I'm kidding, but like once Elion
Doña
is sort of out
Ronalda.
of earshot, I will say, Tybalt, please remember that when we were hesitating or deliberating over the Galio situation, you sent a message to Griselda and you warned her about potential trouble. She agreed to relay that to Private Jessup, but number one, we're not sure if that happened, and number two, um, we really kind of want to limit that information at this point in time. But maybe Griselda's our first stop to make sure that she warned Private Jessup and exactly what she told him. I don't recall what your exact message was, but in that moment when we were, coming to this epiphany of Galileo potentially being against us and or out for his own good, uh, that's when you reached out. So I think we need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's that's fair. We can go to Griselda first and make sure that the messages have been relayed and see how she feels Galileo is doing.
Yeah, I think let's check with Griselda to make sure that she interpreted what you said correctly. Um, and if everything checks out there, it checks out, right? No big deal. But I think that's our first stop. And afterwards, then we talk to Private Jessup and see what Griselda told him and see if that checks out. Furthermore, Private Jessup will have a better idea of where Galileo stands in terms of the volatility of Galileo.
Agreed.
Private Jessup is the one that has been involved in the day in, day out, in terms of what I gathered from Elion and from some of the other townsfolk. It seems like Private Jessup would have the best temperature gauge of where Galileo's at in terms of, is he off his rocker and is he going to attack us? Um, let's not forget that Galileo was quite wild, for lack of a better term, when we first encountered that tower. Ebreth, like, does this coincide with? I mean, I think you have the best current temperature gauge of what we know about Galileo. Does that track?
Well, the biggest difference between when we first encountered the tower and now is that Galio was like possessed by an older mage spirit.
Yeah, but
He's
even after
definitely
that,
he's
after
definitely
that,
eccentric and is wanting to do something with my my notes with the research that I have. It's
absolutely.
very, very important to him. I can only surmise that now we know that he has the rune stone, that he's trying to extract the power from the rune stone. That's the biggest thing is
You also
um
recall, Ebreth, sorry to
mhm,
interrupt, but you also recall that he was withholding information, and we sensed that from him.
yeah.
And you also sensed that because you didn't divulge the entirety of everything of all your notes. You gave
Oh
him
yeah,
a
not even
sample.
close.
You
Yeah,
gave him a little sample of, this is what it is.
right.
But we all picked up on that.
Hmm.
And I think if anybody can give us, again, this temperature gauge of where Galio's at, I think it's Private Jessup, because he's seen the day ins, day outs. He manages the guardsmen that are sort of keeping watch on the tower.
Right.
Um, so before we approach Galio and potentially encounter a very large problem, Private Jessup would maybe give us a gauge on where we want to be with that or how we can approach that.
Yeah,
So I think
that might
it's
be a good
one,
idea.
two, three: Griselda, Jessup, and then Galio,
Yeah, that
right?
sounds good. It sounds good to me.
All right, I'm gonna put that in our notes because this was a couple of months ago that Tybalt
I was gonna
sent the
say we should
message.
probably take notes as a group.
So Griselda, and then Jessup, and then Galio. Um, as far as all the orphan stuff, I'm gonna leave that to Julio and Cynthia because I've seen Julio enter a couple of notes here, so I will leave that in your hands, my friend. If there's anything you want to note here,
Yeah, sorry, I wrote it down longhand.
well, the longhand's great, but the notes we can all read and we can do the control F and research it later when we're 3 months in
Yeah,
and
need to
everyone's trying to
reference it.
remember about frog butt.
I'll add it another day.
Well, Julio can add it. If you can, please, my good sir.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I
Um,
mean, let's just go through what you guys.
well, let me do this. Let me screen share on my notes thing. Why is this not? Oh,
I mean, technically, it's shared
this one.
document, so everybody has access to it.
Okay, so here's our notes for this session. We have quite a few already. So group is chilling at HQ, looking at the loot we received from our last journey. Vox realizes we didn't use goggles on Sylvandal. Great. Um, letters addressed to Tybalt and Jinx. Tybalt reads it, realizes he needs to go to the church. Ebrath says he will go with, but the Tybalt says it's a solo thing. Jinx reads the letter to herself, didn't share, and seems in a joyful mood. The group, so whatever Jinx notes, they probably want to follow this paragraph just for organization purposes. The group turns in for the night, but not performing their usual blah blah blah. Tybalt went to the Shrine of Lathander, read the leaves. A vision of a sleeping dragon appeared. Grumbling to itself as it slept, the dragon is near the ocean. Tybalt's dragon was brownish with a metallic scaling. Elion Malwyn runs the Umber Hulk Shell Inn. The cult of Merkle was known for taking over bodies of dragons. We think that Gnawbones lives in Crypt Garden Forest. Does that still track?
Yeah.
Or did we? Okay.
No, we know for sure that if there that was where its base was, or its lair, it may or may not be alive, but when it was alive, its lair was in Crypt Garden.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, because as the session progresses, like some of this stuff might change, right? But
right.
I appreciate that. So may or may not be alive. Merchants and people have gone missing. Gnawbones normally stays in the Crypt Garden Forest, but there are rumors of her hunting outside of normal hunting grounds.
Right.
Let's say people missing between Leylon and Waterdeep, south of Leylon. And
Right.
then Elion says we need to talk. Ah, shit.
He's like, "Look, Fox, we need to talk." It's like, "What are we?" What did I
Elion
say this
says we
come?
need to talk to Private Jessup and Griselda. Claws of the Coast. This was
The Bronze Dragon.
Ebrath's revelation.
Bro, it's so useful when I can just do history checks to know stuff.
The bronze dragon that surveyed the coast would
You
work with
can.
ships for
I know, I
protection
forget
within her
a lot.
territory. Is there anything else you wanted to add to this part, Ebrath?
As far as
Just
um
anything for the group that we can search later.
um just a note about the difference between metallic and chromatic dragons.
Which is what?
Chromatic dragons equals evil. Metallic dragons equal not evil. Not necessarily good, but not evil.
Okay.
The only truly good dragons are silver and gold, but the other ones are not necessarily evil either.
Okay. Um, so those were your revelations about the dragon
Yeah.
situation, for lack of a better term. And then these are Julio's notes. So Jinx and Gon visit Frog's fart. I can I'm not gonna
Frog
change his
fart.
notes. I want to change this to Frog fart. Where Headmaster Dumbledore lets Jinx know of how the
Dumbledore.
palace, the
Oh yeah,
place
Dumbledore. Bro, we're
is
back.
operating
All
as a
these names
place
are getting
for the
changed.
orphan kids.
And then it's gonna go into the recap. It's gonna be like double fart.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Frog's Wart. Could have been Frog's Fart too.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, and if
The
he
Rumble,
wants to
bro?
talk about this, we can talk about
Yuck.
that. This is all of his notes. The last thing I entered was this. So, like, the order of
Okay.
people we want to talk to is
Yeah,
Griselda, and
that's
then
good.
Jessup, and then Galileo. And I'll let Julio speak to this whole madness here.
That's cool.
Da, da, da. Da, da, da.
And I
I'm
think
not a
this is probably
Jaegerist.
incorporated into this, but also Elion felt that like the mentors of Frogspart were probably ready to like
Do battle.
engage in battle, whereas
Yeah,
the juniors were not.
They're kids.
yeah,
It's
because
an
they're children.
orphanage.
Yeah, they're of course they're kids. They're
Like,
kids.
what kind of psychopath
Um,
would like send them out to do battle
hey,
and
you don't. Hey, like desperate times call for desperate measures, right? Like if
Yeah.
we're getting attacked by a dragon, are they just going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to keep studying my books," or are they going to be like, "I'm going to try to defend fucking Leylon"?
probably not the second part. um, they're kids. I don't know.
Well, not all of them. Like based on what they were saying, there's various levels, right? There's kids, there's like ones that are a little bit leaderish, and then there's like another level, and then there's like the mentors. So I don't know.
True.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like
Yeah,
everyone's
not every kid's
interpretation
gonna
is
be
wrong,
five
right?
years old. That's true.
Right, right. So like as much as
The
everybody
weasels are
might want to
older.
protect them, like it boils down back to what my conversation with Tibble was like we need to make hard choices when the time comes.
Yeah, but did you have that conversation with me? And my
No,
children.
that's why I said
My
Exactly.
with Tibble,
children.
they're not your children.
Yeah, but they're a lot less yours.
They're
Gotta go
under
through
Jinx's
me
Okay,
first.
so
protection.
I'm not,
Yeah.
and Cynthia, you're welcome to add your own notes.
Oh no, I'm just saying for my
Yeah, so you
kids,
can,
like
but you can add your own notes so that they're remember, like we can remember this when we're playing again in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or like, you know how our delays go. So it's up to you.
I'm just
Like I'm
talking
not the
meta.
only one taking notes here, right?
No, I know I'm just talking meta.
And
I'm not even talking about notes.
but that's the funny part about like what Ronnie was saying. He's like, I'm reading his notes, and he's like, Dave has his own perspective on what all this shit means. Like, I'm not the only one playing. Like,
Yeah, like sometimes like Dave will get something wrong and like I don't correct them because
Ronnie,
in
do we want to
character.
stop the stream at this point?
Sure, if you guys are
What were
okay.
you
I mean,
saying
I
though?
think we're
Yeah,
good.
we're just on the
I
yeah, we're just doing notes.
I
Might as well
wanted to
stop it.
hear I wanted to hear Ronnie finish